I'm just gonna wait till she's
settled.
Yeah, before we do anything. She was just giving us the bird, flipping us the bird.
Oh, I'm gonna give her a bird soon.
I can't even figure out what that is from a metaphorical sense. Like a punch in the face, I guess.
Dick.
Dick. Okay. I don't know if calling your dick the bird is a good idea, but...
You ever heard that?
No.
I got that from Trailer Park Boys. Because there's one part where he's talking about how, like, the episode starts and Ricky gets hit in the face with a door because Bubbles is trying to rip out his tooth. So he ties a rope to his tooth and then kicks the door open. But Ricky's standing in front of his shed door, kicks it in the face, and then his nose is broken or busted up.
Yeah.
So he takes a rag, but Bubbles was working on modeling a little, like a toy model.
So the rag is like full of glue or something?
Yeah, and then it's like basically contact cement, and he puts it on his nose, and then he tells a story about how he's like, remember that time like a few years ago when I was walking funny? It's because I like was doing that, and then I touched my dick, and I had a Model B wing on my bird.
Oh my god. Okay, that's gross. Yeah. I didn't need to know that, but all right. Before we get into it, I mean fully into it.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Spider-Man is back in the MCU?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like what I fucking said.
Well, almost. They got 25%.
Yeah, which I honestly think is more. It's more than I thought they would end up giving. Like I thought Sony would give far less than that. But
yeah, I would think so too. But I guess it's like a happy medium of like nothing versus 50%.
Yeah,
it's like a deal that I would make for people. Whenever people have a disagreement, I'm like, bring me in, because I'm the guy that's like, you say 5, you say nothing, $275, everybody's happy. You know what I mean? That's a deal that I fucking make
right
with people.
In the middle.
Yeah, why not? It's exactly what you want. You actually get something, and you get not fucked.
I still think Sony's getting a little ripped off.
They are, because merchandising is so much more important. But the fact that
Marvel gets all, or Disney gets all the merchandising.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Marvel.
I feel like that's where you make most money. It's like the whole Transformers thing. We make this whole dumb TV show for toys.
Yeah, it's all for the toys. Yeah, which is kind of sad that that's how Transformers started.
But at least we got a really good movie out of it.
Yeah, we did. So. You're talking about the animated one, right?
Yeah.
You're not talking about the ones with Shia LaBeouf?
No. I mean, they're okay. They're serviceable, but the 1987 one is far better than all of those probably combined.
I really like the Bumblebee movie. That was fucking dope as fuck.
I haven't watched that, so I can't
it's so good.
Comment on that one.
It's the best live-action Transformers movie ever, which is sad.
Well, again, it's like a lot of things. When you give people constraints to work within, they tend to make better art than if you're like carte blanche, do whatever the fuck you want. The minute that you tell some crazy person who has like a little bit of clout that they can do whatever the fuck they want, they have unlimited resources, they do all the dumb shit.
That seems to be what Kojima's doing with his new game, Death Stranding.
But he always does that. So it's like a little, we'll see what happens. With him, it's always like, we'll see what the end result is, and then we'll decide.
Yeah.
But like, I know there's this movie, I can't remember what it's called, but this dude, like, he was doing like a Western movie, but it was like a Western epic. And he basically built like a whole town and then burned it to the ground as part of the thing, and then realized that he didn't get the shot and then had to rebuild the town.
Oh my god.
It's like, that's the kind of crazy shit that because he did a movie before that was really successful, they're like, do whatever the fuck you want. And then he did whatever the fuck he want, and it was like this
dumb.
Weird, not even a weird movie. It just like didn't do what they wanted because he went too crazy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, welcome to the Overtly Disagreeable podcast where two assholes talk about nothing. We're your hosts. My name is Ken, and this is Shane.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, so how was your week, man?
Honestly, not that great.
No? Why? No. What happened?
What
happened?
So, remember how a couple podcasts ago I was talking about how I have like a weird thing with choking on stuff?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So, the short of it is that I had a viral infection in my throat.
Oh, really?
And I think I still do. It's still like going through the motions of it.
Okay.
But there was a point like Sunday night-ish till basically today. It's been okay. it felt like I was choking, like there's something stuck in my throat. Like you'd eat something, like let's say a cherry tomato, and the skin of the cherry tomato would feel like it's stuck in the back of your throat.
God, that's annoying.
Or I'd eat noodles, and it'd feel like a bit of the noodle was stuck in the back of my throat, and I'd just be horking and coughing.
And your shirt was viral, not like bacterial?
I went to the doctor.
Okay, and you said it was viral?
Yeah.
Okay. It's weird. I don't know of any
it was a whole ordeal. So I had to deal with it for like 2 days from like Sunday, Monday. Okay. And then Tuesday night, it got really bad to the point where like I have a whole... This is going to be a long story, by the way, so sit in tight and buckle up. Tuesday night, it got so bad that I spent like... I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning... coughing, drinking water, gurgling salt water, throwing up the water.
Oh my God.
Because I'm like freaking the fuck out about throwing up and stuff like that. I can't go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't even play video games. Like I'd be playing video games and I had to mute myself because I'm basically like the whole time.
I know what you're talking about.
Couldn't fucking do it. And I started to like that Tuesday night, I coughed up some crazy shit out of my throat. Like I diagnosed myself with tonsillitis. Okay. Because that's what I thought I had, because I was coughing up these semi-clear, like gelatinous things out of my throat.
Oh, what the fuck?
Like, and they were gooey.
Oh.
Like I would cough them up and I would be able to like tangibly pick them up. Not like snot or anything like that, where it's like, it's just gooey, but it's still liquid. Mm-hmm. No, this was like gooey, but it's like, think of like steak fat that wasn't melted.
That's so
So
fucking weird.
you can
I've
pull
never
it apart
heard of this before.
and then it like snaps back and shit like that. So I coughed up a couple pieces of that, and then I coughed up something that was the same color, but it was a strip. Okay. And it was flat, and it was the same thing where it was like it had tension to it, where I couldn't like I wanted to see what it was, but I was coughing this up from all my like gurgling salt and drinking water and then coughing it up and shit like that.
So all this stuff in your throat is just probably making you like hard. It's probably hard to breathe too.
Yeah. Well, that came later, but mostly it was just this choking feeling and feeling like there was something in my throat. Okay. Well, clearly there is. So Tuesday night, I was up till like 3 o'clock doing that. Then I slept for a bit, and then I didn't go into work on Wednesday. I went to the a walk-in clinic. I don't have MSP, and I haven't done my taxes in a few years, so it cost me $200 to go to a walk-in clinic. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get some of the money back once I actually file my MSP. And does it actually? So it goes into your MSP payments? Or yeah, something I'm assuming. Okay. Well, it's gonna be covered because the new medical service plan for Canada, everybody's covered. It's like universal, like actually universal, not by tax bracket. Yeah, which is what it was before. So I'll get some of the money back probably, but I still need to do my taxes and sign up for MSP. So I went into the walk-in clinic and they checked me out, and it's like, no, you don't. He didn't say I didn't have tonsillitis, and also the stuff that I coughed up by the time that I went into the doctor had dried up and shrunk. Huh. Yeah, it was really gross. I wonder what that shit is. And I don't know. I showed it to the doctor and it like was broke, and I'm like, there's nothing to really show the doctor, and he didn't really have anything to say on it. Okay. But he checked my lymph nodes, looked down my throat. It wasn't bacterial. He said basically it was just a viral infection, is what I've gathered from him. So I've been pounding like lozenges, and I bought some Advil, but I've only taken like 1 dose of it. But man, it was a fucking rough day. Wednesday, I barely didn't eat anything. Okay. Like I went out and had a little bit of food. Barely. I didn't eat anything for breakfast. Had a late lunch. We're talking like 3-4 o'clock. Oh my God. Didn't eat anything for my lunch. Took what I had bought home and then had that for dinner. Didn't finish it. So I didn't have anything. So you were just like... just barely, and you were just eating barely enough. Oh yeah. I was living off of water and lozenges pretty much. Yeah. I'm surprised you weren't tempted to take more Advil or even Tylenol. Well, you know me. With that. He suggested Advil, not Tylenol, because Tylenol is for like, I don't know how to put like headaches and stuff like that, whereas Advil is actually for inflammation. Yeah. So it's all about reducing the inflammation. You can take both. Yeah, but I only want to do one, and I already can't take pills. So I'd have to dissolve the Advils and shoot it. I was going to bring that up last week because we discussed that. That's what I normally do. Yeah. Like, I take the hard way. Yeah. And I was just going to say, you could, like, I found out that they do sell, it's like kids version, but you could just double the dosage and it should be fine. For what? But they have like kids Advil. Kids Advil. Like, where it's gummy, right? So you just chew it, but it's a small dosage. So as an adult, you might need to double or triple it, but it should work. Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind for next time, but I did buy some, like a whole pill of bottle of Advil. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, Wednesday was a really rough day. I haven't smoked weed in like 3-4 days. You just can't. Just flat out. I just stopped because I don't want to irritate my throat at all. Yeah. So I've gone cold turkey. I went from the roach thing from last week to the weed that you bought me. I smoked 2, maybe 3 days of it.
Okay.
To smoking not at all since like Tuesday.
Okay. How was that weed?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's very herbal, but I think part of the issue with my whole throat thing is that it's also psychosomatic, where I'm making myself panic and have anxiety and shit like that.
Yeah, I know.
Which is like when I went to the walk-in clinic, I also went to go see my mom, and the first thing she said to me when I pulled her aside and was talking to her was, "You look pale." And then when I went into work on Thursday, the first thing my boss said to me was, "You look pale," because I hadn't eaten anything and stuff like that, and I'm still freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wednesday was trash. Last couple days have been trash. I haven't been playing that much video games. Like today and last night has been the first 2 days I've played video games in like 3-4 days.
Okay.
So that's been fucking shitty. Haven't been crazy fucking dreams. Like back to my usual thing, because I've been using marijuana for the last like 10 years to suppress my dreams.
Okay.
Because I have like, you know how like Joe Rogan would talk on the podcast, like dreams are like a low dose DMT experience.
Yeah.
I have dreams every night about stuff, and can be influenced in my dreams by if I'm listening to stuff.
And do you remember all of it, or a good portion of it?
A good portion of it, yeah. So like I can recite an entire dream to you. A dream, by the way, that I had this week, I've had in the past. So the exact same dream.
Yeah, I think that's a common phenomenon. Like I experienced that
It's
too.
really weird. So I can go into the dream later once you talk a little bit, so it's not just me talking for 45 fucking minutes. Thursday, I got off work and I hadn't eaten that much. Like I had a little bit at lunch.
Okay.
Like some vegetables and some crackers and a little bit of hummus that my coworker made. But by the time I got off work, my heart hurt when I coughed.
What the fuck?
Because I hadn't eaten anything for basically like a day and a half. So that was really hard. So I had like a little bit of food on Thursday night.
Okay.
And then Thursday night I was still having like, I had kind of solved the throat thing where it still felt like I was choking a little bit and there was something in my throat, but it was mostly actually psychosomatic, where I was trying to watch stuff and I was getting anxiety from watching stuff. Like I wasn't even playing video games to reduce my anxiety. I wasn't smoking weed to reduce my anxiety, but watching stuff.
Like, what do you mean by watching? Like
I was watching Into the Spider-Verse.
Right. Okay.
So you remember that one scene when they go into the basement and then they're starting to give Miles shit and they're like kind of like putting pressure on him? Yeah. I had to stop the movie at that point because I was getting too like heady. And like freaking the fuck out.
This is without weed.
Without weed. And I did eat a little bit. I didn't finish my entire dinner because it was okay. I had the McTasters from McDonald's because I wanted to try them.
Okay, yeah.
The Thai chili, too sweet, and the Mexican chipotle, bland ass sauce.
I agree with that. The Thai chili I find is okay.
Maybe they overdid it on the sauce, the one that I had, but it tasted like they just basically poured fucking honey on it.
No.
And then put a little bit of seasoning. Whatever. It was okay. I wanted to try it for a little bit, so it was nice to be able to try it at some time. So Thursday night I had to stop the movie.
Okay.
Then I went for a walk around the block to calm myself down. By the way, I'm still pounding lozenges.
Okay, yeah.
To keep my throat down from being inflamed. So I go for a walk, and then I come back, can't watch the movie, so I start doing Sudoku out of the newspaper because I have to do something. And actually that calmed me down a lot because it was like
you have to focus on something.
It's focusing and it's taking my mind away from the now. It's not bombarding me with lights and shit like that to like stress me the fuck out. So that was a weird feeling too. And then Thursday night, calm down again. Crazy fucking dreams. Friday, went to work, felt kind of like garbage. Did all right. Had tea. 8 lozenges. But
at least it's like you're on the upward swing, I suppose.
Yeah, feel much better. Can actually eat dinner. Last night when I had pasta again, I started eating, and then I got to this point where I realized that I don't think I can, like, as long as my throat's like this right now, I can't eat on the couch because I'm tilted like this.
Okay.
And that's creating like this, for the people who are listening to the podcast, because we don't have a video element, I'm tilting my chin down towards my chest.
Yes.
Basically,
so you're upright, sitting, or tilting your chin towards your chest.
So that's making less room for my throat to operate. Okay. So then I felt like I had noodles down my throat again, so I had to not eat my full dinner. So I ate like 80% of my dinner.
Okay. All right.
I'm doing all right. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Like food, I'm intaking food. That's the most important thing. And then I played games. Now I actually managed to like survive playing games without freaking the fuck out, which I'm really happy about, because that was some very worrisome that video games were making me have anxiety attacks or some shit like that. So I think it was just the fact that I was at the height of my viral infection on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
That I just can't. I couldn't play video games.
You can't really do shit with viral infections either. You kind of just have to wait them out.
Like it's the worst. Like he's like, you can take anti-inflammatory things, and that's basically the treatment. Right. And he's like, if it persists for a month or two, then come back and we have a real issue. I'm like, I don't want to wait a month or two. So I'm glad that it's like kind of calming down. Okay. But even now when I'm talking, I can kind of feel like my throat's a little tight.
Ooh.
So I might have to pop a lozenge in the middle of this, but I'm feeling all right now, and I'm drinking some water. But yeah, like it's been kind of rough with that. Although I will say, even though I had to take like 3 days off of playing Apex, the last 2 days, like I've been playing this morning and last night, I've been burning that battle pass. Okay. I went from level like 60 something, I think 63 to 77.
Oh, well,
in
you're
like
getting
a
there.
day.
Yeah, you only need about 20 more levels.
Yeah, so it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
I just want to hit level 100. But I will also say, I was told that the battle pass is 950 in-game currency, Apex coins or whatever the fuck it is. And by this point in the battle pass, I've already gained.
Oh, so you've already paid for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well,
so
then.
Again, I am making headway, and I might not get all the skins and stuff, but I have my money back.
Yeah,
which is my main goal.
At this point, it's just gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty good about that, but I'm going to keep hitting that grind for the next 2 days because the 30th is the last day.
Okay, yeah.
So
today's
Monday.
The 28th? 27th? No, 28th.
Yeah, I think it's 28th.
Yeah.
Because Monday's the 30th. So I have a couple more days.
Okay.
I'm going to hope I can grind at least to level 100 because I want the skin that's at level 100.
Right.
It's like a black and red skin for the R301, which means nothing to you, but...
The robot? The grappling hook dude?
No. A gun.
Oh, okay.
The end of the battle pass is always a gun skin.
I see. Okay.
They do give you character skins and stuff like that throughout the battle pass, but the final reward is always a gun skin.
And is the gun skin... I can't remember because it's been so long since I played it. Are the skins universal or are they attached to specific guns?
Specific gun.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, you said R301, so I should have guessed that.
Yeah, and then the like, what is it called? Prestige. The Prestige... like 110 level is the same skin but a different color.
Right. Okay.
It's like Smite.
Yeah. Okay.
But like not as crazy where you don't have to do the whole battle pass again. It's just 10 more levels of nothing and then you get something. So I don't really care about the 110 skin. I just want the 100 skin. So that's my new next goal.
Okay.
But I'm feeling pretty confident because even last night I got like 6 or 7 battle pass levels just playing for like 3 hours.
Okay, well if you got 6 or 7 from 3 hours, then if you keep that rate up, you'll get there in no time.
The only problem with that is that I'm getting a lot of battle pass levels from the quests or challenges.
Yeah.
So eventually those are going to run out.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a like, I'll probably get pretty close to 90 something, but eventually when I get to like 95, I bet it's going to be all in game
really
and it's going to be a hard grind. Yeah. It's going to be like just play game. But I was even playing today. I have this weird thing when I play games where the first match I play in any game, I crush.
Okay.
So today I played my first game of Apex and like first game of playing anything. Champion.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, full squad champion.
Yeah.
Did fucking great.
Okay.
Right? Next game, 2.
That's still pretty good.
Didn't get another champion or 2 after that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? It was all, but I was all like 10 or above.
What do you mean? Oh, okay. In terms of the last
last 10 squads or above.
Yeah.
So like 7 or 8 or something like that. And then after like an hour or 2, I was like, well, I'm just getting 7s and 8s. Let's just put it down. I'll come back to this later tonight because I just want to get the daily challenges done. So I was grinding out those because you get like, you don't get battle pass levels, but you get points to the battle pass levels.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And they're daily, so you have to get rid of them on that day.
Exactly.
They're like the priority ones.
Yeah, and then by doing daily quests, there's like weekly challenges where it's like do 5 daily quests and then do 10 daily quests.
I see.
So my daily, obviously the weekly challenge ends on the 30th.
Yes.
So I have 3 days left and I have 9 more challenges to do and you get 3 daily challenges in a day.
Right. Okay.
So I have to do every single daily challenge for the next 3 days to get the extra
double
battle
down
pass.
On that, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm really cheesing every little bit I can out of this system that I can. But yeah, like the whole viral infection thing, that was a fucking rough fucking part of my week. Like I don't even know if I want to go to the gym tomorrow.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm still kind of feeling like shit.
know if it would be the time to take a break from
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm kind of thinking, but I also don't want to puss out and give myself a reason to stop going to the gym, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I
Break
get
the
what you're saying.
like
It's the
momentum
mental,
that I have.
yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, this week's been a little rough.
Okay.
Not as rough as for some people, I'm sure, but for
Mhm.
me personally, it was been not very fun feeling like I'm choking all fucking week.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure like poor African kids have it worse, but that's
Mhm.
still pretty bad.
Mhm. So yeah, that's been my week in a nutshell. I can talk about one of my dreams later if you really want me to recount them.
Yeah,
But
it's up to you, man.
I tried to like remember one
Mhm.
for the podcast in particular because I had so many dreams. But for a quick one, I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast
This is
when I
all
was
in the
sleeping.
So
No,
okay,
no,
I just want to be clear.
To make myself go to sleep,
Yeah.
I put on a Joe Rogan podcast,
Okay.
and then it would autoplay into the next one.
I see what
right?
you're saying.
So
Okay.
one of them, he was talking to Nick Bostrom, who I don't know what his actual qualifications are, but the end of the podcast, he was talking about simulation theory.
Okay.
So you can
all right.
imagine what his kind of field is.
Yeah.
But at some point, they were obviously talking about like quantum mechanics or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a dream where I was basically trying to do like Tony Stark, and I was trying to like invent time travel.
Okay.
And I had like a graph that I was drawing that was like a picto
Mm-hmm.
that was like to depict time travel, and it was like, think of like a rectangle in a 3-dimensional like space.
Yes.
Like a 3-dimensional rectangle.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know what you would call that. It's
I
not a
forgot.
cube.
It's not a cube. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
3-dimensional rectangle, but it's like on a slope,
Okay.
and then time going through the rectangle. Like, so the rectangle would be like this,
Yeah,
but
it's
time
on
would
an
go
angle.
like this, where it was like an S
Around?
curve. No, like
Okay.
down
Yeah.
and out. And
Let-
that was the picture that I got of quantum mechanics in my brain
This is okay.
from the podcast.
It's not making sense.
That's
to
my
me.
dream. I know
Okay,
that's a
yeah.
dream. That's one of
That's
my
your
dreams. That's not the
visual
one that I actually
representation.
remembered. That's not the one that I had again. But that was like the shit that I was experiencing, and the reason why I try to suppress my dreams
Mhm.
in general. If anyone's wondering why I use marijuana to suppress my dreams, is because I have a hard time coming out of dreams
Mhm.
and feeling good in the morning.
It's weird. I thought marijuana makes people dream more usually.
Not for me. Maybe it does for some people, but from what I know of marijuana and of other people talking about it,
Mhm.
it generally suppresses dreams.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because it's like you're basically fucking with your brain chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not actually able to, dream.
Okay.
Like it opens your conscious mind
Mm-hmm.
to like the subconscious that you might be paranoid about or thinking about, or ideas you hadn't considered in the past. But I'm assuming that when your brain's going into REM sleep, it's kind of doing its own thing.
Yes.
That when you're like jamming a bunch of fucking drugs into it, it's kind of like, you know what? You can have that one. You can just
take
sleep,
it,
dude.
yeah.
We're not going to pump you any dreams because you might get fucked up. So that's why I use it, because it's kind of like, it's a little sad, but like I'll have good dreams
Mm-hmm.
about like going on dates and having a good time, or,
Mhm.
having a great time, or going to work and not feeling like shit and stuff like that. And then I'll wake up and then have to come back to reality. And I don't like dealing with that.
Yeah.
Like, just that's a personal thing for me, where I just don't like dealing with the fact that my dreams give me a reality that is unrealistic and doesn't live up to reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to avoid that. over the years.
I mean, I guess I could see where you're coming from.
It's a little bit fucked up, but it's just like I have bad dreams and I have good dreams, and neither I want to wake from positively. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, I don't wake from either of those positively.
Yeah, because if it's a bad dream, then you're just freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's a bit fucky.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my week in a
That's your
nutshell.
week.
What about you?
My week was a little bit different this week. I bought a bunch of the THC tablets again,
Mm-hmm.
Except for myself, not for my friend this time.
Did you grab like a specific one, like indica, sativa?
I
or
got
anything?
indica.
Okay.
Because
You were trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, I have huge trouble sleeping.
Okay.
Like last week, so not this week that just passed, the week before that.
Mhm.
Like every night, I had in between maybe 2 to 5 hours of sleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like when the maximum amount of sleep you're getting in a week is 5 hours, then it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So, and it's been kind of an ongoing issue with me. Like I want to say since like high school, I've always had trouble sleeping.
I was gonna say, I wonder how long it's been, because I know that in the last few years you've been doing and I've given you shit, I think, on the podcast before, but doing your like 2 a.m. going to work out.
Yeah.
Shit, I know you're not doing that anymore, but I was like, that's a bad move, because you're training your body to be like pumped and ready to go for fighting
At midnight.
in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but the thing is, like even when I was in high school, like I'd frequently be up till like 4 or 5 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Just cannot sleep at night. I don't know what it is. Just
Weird.
can't do it.
See, I don't like going to bed early, so I would stay up late, but I would always be able to go to bed. Like when we would go home from Daniel's house at like 2, 3 in the morning, and then still like stand outside and talk for an hour.
Yeah.
I'd go home and I'd sleep like a fucking baby.
Really?
But you
Yeah.
probably go home and still be awake, right?
I'd still be like tossing and turning and
that
shit.
sucks,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, that happens occasionally, but it sucks that it's like all the time for you.
Yeah, all the fucking time. So, I went and I decided to just try these capsules because I don't really want to smoke, but
Fair enough.
I don't mind edibles. So the first night, I got them on Monday. So the first one I took was on Sunday because that's the one my friend gave me.
Yeah, and I told you not to take it on Saturday because I didn't want you to drive home.
Yes. So I took it when I took it. I mean, I went home, and then the next morning I took it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was Sunday morning that I took it, and it didn't really do much. Like I didn't feel it at all.
Yeah, you texted me saying it didn't do shit.
Yeah, I could barely feel it.
Okay.
Like it was almost
like drowsiness or high?
High.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next day, so it was Monday. I went to work, and then after work, I went and got more tablets.
Okay.
Because the place is like, I was going to say 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes away from where I work.
Yeah.
So I went and I got more, and then I took 2.
That night. Okay.
Yeah, that night. That fucked me up.
Like, like a high fuck you up, or like it put you out for like 12 hours?
Let's say both.
Okay. So really heavy sleep and fucked up.
No, so in terms of put me out, so it took about 3 hours to take effect. So I took it out about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And I didn't feel anything until 11.
Okay.
Yeah, and
did you take it with food?
No, just by itself.
Oh wow.
I barely ate that day.
That should be making it work faster, but okay.
Yeah. So I took 2 of them. I was almost going to take a third one. I'm like, fuck, I still feel like nothing here. But thank God I didn't. After the 3 hour mark, it hit me like a truck.
Yeah, edibles.
Yes. And after that point, I had a really good night's sleep.
Nice, okay.
I had a great night's sleep. I ended up sleeping at about 1 or 2 a.m., something like that.
Okay, that's not too bad.
And I woke up I didn't even get that much sleep now I think about it. I woke up at 6, but it was a really fucking good sleep. Like I felt super
5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I woke up, I was still high.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I started getting super paranoid. I'm like, fuck, I gotta drive to work soon.
Yeah.
I hope this wears off because I really don't want to drive while feeling like this. By 9 o'clock is when I leave for work.
You just wake up. Oh wait, I guess you naturally woke.
6.
I guess you naturally woke up at 6. I'm like, that would suck. I would never wake up 3 hours before work. Fuck that.
No. Normally I don't. Normally I wake up at like 8.
Okay, yeah, that's reasonable.
And so, but this, I just got a really good fucking sleep out of this after only 5 hours.
Well, that's good.
I guess combined with the way I normally sleep, I don't know, maybe it worked out well.
Well, it's because you probably went straight to sleep as opposed to tossing and turning.
That's probably
and waking up at 6.
Yeah. So, so that was good, but then I could still feel it. And by the time it was 9 o'clock, I could still barely feel it. And I was a little bit paranoid, but I'm just like, I'll just drive to work. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Were you like psychologically paranoid, or were you just paranoid about the idea of driving possibly high?
Possibly high.
Okay,
yeah. And I could even feel it while I was driving. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like...
You just feel a little bit like you're sitting on a cloud, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it's almost like... It's almost like the roads are wider. Like, I have more space. I shouldn't say it like this, but I can make more mistakes.
You can't. But yeah, I know the feeling where it's like... You just feel like... Yeah, you don't feel confined like you normally do.
That's right. Yes, that's actually probably the best way to put it. Like, I don't feel confined.
Your mind is free.
That's right.
The red pill.
But I made it to work fine, and then maybe about an hour after work, it totally left.
An hour after work?
Yeah, an hour after I started.
Okay,
work.
I was going to say, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I'll be like, that's fucked up. Never take that shit ever again if you were high for fucking 12 hours.
Well, yeah, so, like, how long does that last then? Because let's count from when it hit me, which was about 11
Actually, no,
o'clock.
that would be about 12 hours.
That's almost 12 hours. Yeah, it's about 10 to 12 hours. Yeah.
Damn.
So that's how hard it hit me. Now, it wasn't an insane high at any point. It was...
Well, it's indica, so it's supposed to, like... It's like a couch lock high. That's what indica is.
I don't even know what the word couch lock means, but I guess
when
I can
you're
imagine.
when you're like, like the greasy baked people who just sit on the couch and they're like,
Yeah, that's it.
that's couch lock.
Yeah,
that's like
about...
you don't want to get up. You got all your munchies. You're watching stuff, and you have no intention of getting up ever again. Whereas sativa's like, hey, let's talk. Come on, let's go. Like it's not like you're not like ecstasy high, but you're definitely up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're willing to go out and do stuff. Whereas indica is like, you might fall asleep on the couch if you're smoking.
Well, I remember, and I don't know what that strain was when I was in Mexico and I got high. Then I imagined the tarantula.
Oh yeah, right.
Like I didn't hallucinate anything this time.
Okay.
Yeah, everything just felt kind of fuzzy and light.
Indica's much more like that. It's a lot less of the tripping balls high and much more of the mellow couch lock high. Yeah.
So every night I've only been taking one pill since then because I just didn't want to go through that again.
Also experiment. I mean, I'm not saying do crazy amounts. I'm just saying, find a good balance between 2 and 1, what time to take him, stuff like that, right?
I feel like I could get away with taking 2 if I took them by about 7 o'clock.
A little earlier.
Yeah, just a little bit earlier.
Also, the more you take them, the more your body will have a resistance to it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like I said before, when I first started smoking weed, I could literally see myself from a third person perspective. Now I'm just like, my eyes are dilated and I'm a little hungry.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you prefer the sativa, don't you?
I like actually hybrid because sativa gets me too like hyper and like kind of a little paranoid, to be honest, which has been happening a little more lately. And indica makes me too mellow and like I want to go to sleep all the time. So I actually kind of like hybrids.
So you prefer
with a
hybrid.
Sativa dominant, like a 75-25.
Okay.
That's when you can pick them up.
Maybe I could do it with the other half.
Yeah, you could do it the other way too.
Yeah.
So you found a nice balance between one pill?
Yeah, well, one pill seems to be good enough to so what seems to be happening is I seem to be getting the same amount of sleep every night.
Okay.
But it's way better.
Okay.
Like the one pill, and I guess even 2, I don't know what it's doing specifically, but like when I go to bed, I can almost fall asleep right away.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
You're just cutting out the tossing, turning for like 2-3 hours that you normally do.
And I wake up earlier, so it's roughly the same amount of sleep, just I guess without the tossing and turning.
Why do you think you wake up earlier?
I don't know. It might be my body just being like, because like I said, I've been having sleeping problems since like.
Oh, your body's used to running on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that might be the case.
Bit of a side thing, but whenever I fall asleep on the couch, I almost always wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, like almost
on the dot.
On the dot, like 5:30. I'll always wake up and be like, "It's too early to wake up for work." Into bed, you know what I mean? And then I go to bed for 2 more hours, 3 more hours,
and then that wake up is harder.
Yeah, much harder, fucking much harder. And then I go into work at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
So
yeah, I don't know. I would like to experience it with a full night's rest, but I'm pretty satisfied with the results as they are.
You probably also the more that you do it and the more that you recalibrate your body to like a normal night's sleep, you'll probably start being able to sleep for longer. Get better sleep.
That would be nice.
But it's good that you're cutting out all the hard part of you actually falling asleep now.
Yeah, and because that also feels like a huge waste of time. Like I do nothing.
Honestly, that was my view on sleep for the longest time. Like in high school, I'm like, I fucking hate going to sleep because it is fucking a waste of 7 hours of your fucking life.
Oh yeah, no, sleep
every
is
night.
A complete waste. I wish we didn't need to. Well, I shouldn't say
we need to because you need to reset every once in a while. But the idea of losing 7 hours out of every day of my life is a fucking rough thing to live with.
No, I mean, I completely agree. Like, I wish I didn't have to sleep.
Yeah. If I could spend 7 hours playing video games instead of sleeping, I'd trade that in a second. And then I do all the video game playing I normally do. I do something else.
Man, sleep is like super contradictory because like it does not make sense because your brain, once you get into REM sleep, which is where like the good shit happens for your body, your brain is super active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not on a conscious level, on a subconscious level.
On a subconscious level, yeah. But like your body is paralyzed, so you can't move, but your brain is active on a subconscious level, but it's almost no difference than if it was conscious. Like it's still doing shit.
Yeah, it's just turning on a different part of your brain.
Yeah, so it's not relaxing the brain per se.
Well, it's probably relaxing all the normal parts of your brain. like your
That might
auditory
be it,
inputs,
yeah.
your visual inputs, all your taste buds. It's like, turn that shit off.
Just let everything else go.
Flipping all those breakers,
Yeah.
dude. Just chill the fuck out for a second.
I mean, that might be true.
But then
yeah.
you go into a dream and you're like, I taste toaster strudel. Tastes so good, but you're not actually tasting anything, right?
Yeah, just eating your pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also decided to just cut pop out this week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because last week, after I went home, I had this insane feeling of like throwing up because I have my acid reflux issue.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I'm just like, okay, I think pop is the heaviest contributor to this right now.
Yeah.
So this entire week I've cut. I have not drank any pop this week at all.
So you're like me with weed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So no Zevia as well. So
I think it's because you're drinking like the not pop. I mean, I'm not saying that pop is good in general, but I think it's also because you're drinking the like aspartame pop.
The aspartame shit.
Also, and you're doing it a lot or
Yeah.
doing it more than you probably should.
Oh, way more.
That it's probably like, hey Ken, this is your
down.
gut talking. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, my gut is still saying fuck you. It's gotten a lot better.
Okay.
But so I still feel like I'm gonna throw up sometimes. Like even when I came here, like I haven't had pop in a week, and I still needed to take a Tums.
Oh yeah.
But it's better than it was last week, and
Okay.
it looks like it's gonna be better this coming Sunday. Which
Okay,
is
that's
tomorrow,
good.
I suppose. Yeah.
But it's like the same thing with the sleeping and all that shit. It's you getting your body used to a normal intake,
Yeah.
right?
So I don't even know if I want to drink pop here today. I might, but I'll think about it.
Have you been just substituting with water, or do you like
Water?
drink juice?
No, not juice, because I still want to stay away from sugar. But
Okay.
there's this incredibly hard to find, because I get it every once in a while, but it's this incredibly hard to find sugar-free aloe vera drink that I get.
Okay.
And the reason I say it's incredibly hard to find is because anywhere else that sells quote-unquote sugar-free aloe is still full of like a bunch of natural sugars, which I still don't even want those.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only place that I've ever found that sells it, which is still kind of a big store, so you will find it, is London Drugs and occasionally Walmart.
Oh okay.
Walmart rarely has it, but London Drugs has it all the time.
Okay.
But only London Drugs, pretty much.
Yeah. At least you can find it, right?
Yeah. So they come in 1.5 liter bottles. So I just buy 4 of those, and I just drink those and water throughout the week.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's I'm assuming that might have aspartame in it as well, actually.
You might want to check the label, but
Yeah.
I guess
So
it's better substitute than pop.
Yeah. It goes down a lot nicer. And I know the first ingredient they list on the aloe is water, so that means water is the main ingredient.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a lot more water in my system than I'm normally used to.
That's good.
Yeah. So hopefully if I just continue to do this for 2 or 3 more weeks, I'll at the very least stop feeling like I'm going to throw up all the time.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So that's been my week. The weed, or not the weed, the THC pills and the fucking no soda. I do want to take 2 pills at once. Oh, one more thing. So when I tried buying THC pills, the first time, it was on Sunday, and I really didn't want to drive to that place because it's in Maple Ridge, and I live in Coquitlam.
Okay.
So it's close to my work, but it's far from my house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm going to just try buying it online, see if I can just get it delivered. And I found a place that sells it.
Yeah.
And will deliver it to me.
Yeah.
It's a $9 delivery fee, which is ridiculous, but whatever.
They're transporting drugs. So.
Yeah, and you pay in cash when they deliver it.
Of course.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck, I wish I could just pay with card online or even send an e-transfer. I
Yeah.
don't fucking care. So I misread it, and so I have this one pill at home. I thought I was buying 10 25 milligram pills.
Okay.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Instead, I got one 250 milligram pill.
Christ.
So I have this like monster of a pill at home. I don't even know what to do with it, because if I take that, I'm out for a week.
Yeah, you'll be fucked up really bad.
Yeah.
You can't even like cut that in half because that'd still be 125 mils.
Yeah, I was thinking of just like trying to cut it 10 times, but I don't really want to do that.
Fucking dice it up.
Yeah.
And just snort like a tenth of it.
That's right. Or they're gel capsules, so I can
Oh,
still.
okay.
They'll probably still hold their shape as I
Okay.
cut them. Yeah. So I was considering doing that, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna save this. I'll probably just give it to someone at some point.
Yeah.
My first thought was to give it to you, and then immediately after, I'm like, oh wait, Shane won't take this because it's in pill form.
It's pill form. It's probably
Yeah.
a gigantic fucking pill.
It's not that bad. It's about I don't know, size of my. What's this thing called at the front of the finger where like it bends? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a name for
The
it.
the last joint part where the finger.
Yeah, the last joint part to the end, to the tip of my finger. It's about that big. It's
that's too big.
Is it?
That's too big.
Yeah, for you.
Dude, I can't even take Advils, and those are like little
Those are
tiny fucking
yeah.
nothings.
Yeah, I take the fucking the fish oil things. Those are fucking massive. I don't even know why they're massive. They can probably condense it if they wanted to, but they don't.
Yeah, it's probably a dosage that they're trying to give you.
Yeah.
Did I ever talk about that on the podcast about how I used to take those
with
fish
your
oils?
dad just
throwing them down my throat?
You did mention. I think 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You did mention it.
I've been wanting to compile a bunch of weird stories from my life to inject into the podcast every once in a while, like different times that I've done like dumb shit in my life, and just slowly inject them into the podcast.
Just let everyone know
how fucking stupid I am.
Yeah, well, everyone's stupid.
Yeah.
Everyone's stupid. Yeah, so my week has been pretty good. This has probably been the best week I've had in a while, mostly just because of the sleep thing.
No, that's good.
That's a huge fucking
yeah,
bonus.
that it would be a huge difference.
Yeah.
When you're not getting good sleep, so.
You know, and I never get good sleep, so here we are. It stems from like when I was younger. My brother and my parents would always go into my room and always make loud noises at nighttime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, my room was like its own suite and it had a kitchen or something. So like,
oh yeah, I remember the house on Marine, right?
Yeah. So they'd always be like, it'd be like 3 a.m. Somebody was hungry and they want to cook something. Instead of going to the other kitchen where nobody would be bothered, they'd always go to mine. And so like throughout the years, I think I just developed like bad sleeping habits.
My mom's like that too, with for a completely different reason, but kind of the same thing where it's like she like you can open a door and she'll wake up.
Really?
Yeah, like
so
that's how
she's
sensitive.
Really sensitive.
Well, she's got you. I don't know if she's told you anything about her personal. Okay.
No.
Well, I don't want to say it on camera. I know she's comfortable telling people, but I don't want to like put it out there. But let's say it's very traumatic.
Okay.
There's a reason why.
No,
but,
that's unfortunate.
Like she has that problem where it's like she has to tell like people that she's dating or whatever to be like, you know, you can't bug me at night too much because I won't get any sleep whatsoever.
It'll disturb her completely.
Yeah.
Oh, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah.
So
that's brutal.
But so I know I can sympathize with how you feel about like people like disturbing your sleep constantly. That it just breaks your brain for ever having good sleep.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I'm like when I'm out, I'm out like a fucking light, dude. Like I've slept through storms. I've slept through fucking car crashes. Not like me in a car crash, but like car crashes outside my
if something
street.
happened like right here.
Exactly, and stuff like that. Like it's hard to wake me up. It's more like it would be incorporated in my dream than I would wake up.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck. Okay. I'm kind of jealous of that. I want that.
Yeah, I don't know how that was able. Maybe I just had a reasonable sleep schedule when I was young.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's been my week. I don't want to move on to anything quite yet.
Okay, well, do you want me to try to recount one of my dreams?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a dream I've had before, and remember, it's a dream. So when you're gonna ask what the fuck, remember, it's a dream.
Okay.
So there's not really a good explanation for any of this.
Things just happen.
I'm just going to tell you what happened in the dream, and I have no explanation for these things. So the dream starts. I'm in like a sandwich shop.
Okay.
Kind of like the Sandwich Nazi.
Right.
Like his kind of place.
Right.
Where it's like a long counter.
Yes.
Except imagine that it's like got multiple people behind the counter.
Right.
And it's like a bigger production of sandwiches being made.
I want to say this sounds like Subway, but okay.
It's not Subway. It's like a small business type place.
Okay.
We're talking like white walls and a single TV with like news from a different country.
Right. Okay.
Like literally that's what's happening in my dream.
Okay.
I'm with someone, a woman that I don't recognize, but I think that she has some association with me because we're together, and I'm waiting for this coworker that I had from a couple of years ago.
Okay.
That was working at the shop with me. He's like an older dude, kind of stupid, didn't really have his shit together in life. But for some reason, we went to the sandwich shop, and he's like parking the car or something like that, and we're getting sandwiches.
Okay.
We don't get a drink at the sandwich shop, so me and this woman, we leave the sandwich shop and we go down the street and we find like a food truck.
Okay.
But we don't buy any food there. We just buy like cans of pop there.
Okay.
Because
All
the
right.
sandwich shop didn't have any drinks that we wanted to buy.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of foreign pops or whatever, and we didn't want any of that. So we
No, I know.
go to the vendor, the food truck vendor,
the food truck.
and
Yeah.
get like a Sprite, I think is what sticks out in my mind. So we're walking back up the street
So far, somewhat
towards the
normal.
sandwich.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all a dream. We're walking
Yeah.
back up the street towards the sandwich shop, and the guy who's supposed to be parking the car,
Mm-hmm.
like, he's supposed to pick us up.
Yeah.
Didn't find a parking spot, I guess,
Yeah.
to come meet us. So he takes a right in front of us
Okay.
at like an intersection. Doesn't notice that we're there, so we're like, okay, well, let's go find him. So we go down the street, try to find out where he's parked.
Okay.
He's on like a side street. Like we go down the street, go down on like a side street, and he's there.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, that's not his car,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And his actual car is. This is how I'm going to describe it to you. It's like a garbage truck,
Mm-hmm.
like just think of a big truck,
Okay.
but 4 wheels.
Okay.
Right? The
Really
back,
big truck.
the
Okay.
back right tire
Mm-hmm.
is not a tire. It's like, oh God, how do I put this? It's, God damn, how do I put this? It's like, it's 2 tires.
Okay.
Like all the normal tires are just single tires.
including the back left one is a single tire.
Back left one's a single tire, but this back right one
Mm-hmm.
is a 2 tire.
Okay.
Like they're 2 tires together.
Yeah.
Like on an 18 wheeler where they're side by side.
Yes.
But it's on a ball joint pivot.
Okay. That's,
So like, think about it. It's like wheel,
Yeah.
front wheels, back left wheel. But then there's like 2 wheels, and it like can pivot on its own
yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. That's,
independently,
yeah.
right? Kind of like maybe like a stroller,
Yeah. This is kind of what I was thinking.
right?
Yeah.
But it's only that
like-
one thing.
Yeah.
So it's like been ghetto rigged. So we all get in this truck,
Okay.
this truck, and we're driving down this wherever we're going.
totally safe.
I don't know actually where our destination is until we arrive at the destination, which is later in the story.
Mm-hmm.
We're driving down. Day becomes night. We're driving down the highway, and the truck basically just shits the bed and breaks. Like
Okay.
completely breaks down.
All right. Sounds about right.
Right?
Considering what you just told me about
Like
it.
I think the steering wheel comes off the column, like just completely. Right?
Okay. All right.
So we're on the side of the highway. We're like, fuck it. So we get out of the car, start going on foot to wherever our destination is. Again, don't know where it is.
Okay.
It's kind of like, imagine like getting off the highway and going to like New West or like Coquitlam type. That's the kind of vibe I get.
Okay.
Where
all
it's
right.
not like, it's not downtown Vancouver,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also not like the suburbs.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
still like, there's stores, there's buildings. I distinctly remember there's like a SkyTrain,
Okay.
right? So we're trying to figure out like how we're going to get to our destination. Again, still don't actually know in the dream where we're going. I just know
Yes.
that we are going somewhere, and I know that we have to go somewhere.
Also, the vehicle breaks down, and your first thought is, how do I get to where I need to go?
Yeah.
Not how do I deal with this situation?
Yeah, well, it's not mine, so I don't give a shit, right?
Okay,
So we
alright.
just go on foot, and we're walking down the streets,
Including the person who was the driver.
including the person that was the driver and the woman,
Okay. All right.
right? I think there was a kid with us too, but I can't actually remember, which makes sense because the dude, he had a younger son,
Mm-hmm.
so it kind of makes sense
Okay. All
that
right.
there would be a kid with us, but I don't remember him being there for the entire dream.
Right. Okay.
So I can't. It's just interspliced event here and there. There's a kid.
yeah, I know. Okay, I get what you're saying.
So we're walking, and we're walking through like a sort of residential-ish area, but still again in the city. And we're like walking along where the SkyTrain would be, but under like on the ground.
right.
And we find out that there's like a secret SkyTrain
Okay.
that we could take.
The secret SkyTrain.
Yeah,
Okay.
like we don't
alright.
think to take the actual SkyTrain.
Yeah.
For some
Why
reason,
would you bother?
there's not even SkyTrains even running in my dream.
Okay.
It's just like it's as if it was built and then not used.
Okay. All right.
Right. So we find out there's like a secret SkyTrain
Mm-hmm.
that we could board, but we need to find out where to board it.
Yes.
So now that we know this information, we start finding it, like trying to find how to get, like who would know to get onto the SkyTrain,
Mhm.
this secret SkyTrain. So we go down this alley. Again, I don't know how we go from street to alley, but we do. And weirdly enough, this wasn't in my dream the first time I had it a couple of years ago, but it was in this dream.
Okay.
Something similar happened, but the person that we met was specific this time.
Okay.
It was Ari Shafir.
Ah, of course.
I don't know why. I don't watch that much Ari Shaffir stuff. Nothing I was listening to in recent memory had Ari Shaffir in it.
Okay.
As far as I can remember. I did watch something. This is a side note from the dream. I did watch something that was a video that Ari Shaffir put up where it was the a reverse sober October, where it was like get hammered October or some shit, where it's like he had a list of like points of like smoke a joint, get 1 point, do a shot, get 1 point, do a DMT, do 5 points.
Is that what he's planning to do this year?
He was just, I think it's a joke, but I think he's trying to sell it as like a real thing.
Okay.
That might have been incorporated. I can't remember if I watched that before I had the dream or after. I think it was after. Mm-hmm. So anyways, we meet Ari Shaffir in an alley.
Okay.
And he's like, basically, I don't remember what he says to me, but it's something to the effect of like, you need to prove that you're like a cool person, that you can ride the train, right? Because it's like a secret underground train.
That apparently Ari Shaffir is the bodyguard for.
Apparently, or he's like a liaison for some kind.
All right.
So it's like, okay, so what do we need to do? And we get into like a sort of like a jiu-jitsu like grappling match that ends with us doing like leg locks on each other with just our legs, right? And then we're like smacking each other in the balls, right? We're like doing ball slapped while we're like leg locked with each other.
It's like you associated Joe Rogan with Ari Shaffir or
well,
something.
I think Ari Shaffir does do some jiu-jitsu stuff.
Oh, does he?
Probably not as much and doesn't like pontificate as much as Joe Rogan does, but I think he does do some physical activity stuff that has to do with jiu-jitsu. So after a while, he submits and is like, okay, cool. You're a cool guy, right? So we get on.
Congratulations.
We get to board the train.
Okay.
And like the train rolls up. We get on it, and it's like this weird, like, I don't know how to put it, but it's like a weeb train.
Okay.
It's like a pop culture weeb, like
things
that would be counterculture. Well, no, it was whatever. It's like you would go to your friend's house and they have like anime posters up and shit like that, and video games and stuff like that. It's like a whole. It's not just a transport train. It's like a party train at the same time.
Okay, I just want to get this clear. All right. So in your dream, you found this secret SkyTrain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that Ari Shaffir, that you have to get his approval to go on there.
Well, not specifically. I think he's just a liaison. Like he's in the club, so he can give the approval.
So he's he's one of a bunch of people that can
possibly.
Do it.
Yes,
Okay.
He just happened to be the person that I had met.
And in this cool kids train, it's a bunch of weebs and nerds.
I'm just telling you what I saw.
All right, I just want to be clear on
nerds, fucking video game shit. Pop culture
all these
stuff.
cool people.
Yeah, sure. So we take the train to our destination. Okay. I don't know where the other people that were, like the woman that I couldn't identify, don't know where the fuck she went. Okay. The dude that was working with me, I don't think they got on the train. Because I only remember me being on the train after the ball slapping with Ari Shaffir. Mm-hmm. I only remember me being on there because I was like, oh, cool, whatever. I'm on this train, right? Mm-hmm. And then the train arrives. You know Landmark Cinema? Yeah. Where it's like the train goes right into the mall?
Yeah, which I love.
So the train basically rolls up to my friend's apartment.
Okay.
Where apparently the destination was her house for her like birthday party or house party or whatever.
Okay.
And it was specifically a friend of mine, Serena. I don't know if you ever met her.
I'm sure I have, but I don't remember.
She's having a party at her place, but this train rolls up directly, like not into her house, but like as if the train station was built alongside where her house would be.
Of course.
And it like goes directly into her house, and it's like a house party.
Okay, all right.
And that's my dream, and then I wake up.
Okay.
And I've had that dream distinctly, that dream before. I even remember the truck breaking down on the highway, the sandwich shop, the having to deal with someone in an alleyway, the like pop culture train, all that shit was there.
Okay. Man, soon, like, to have that dream a couple more times, and you're probably going to just start being well aware in the dream.
Yeah, I know. I've always wanted to do something like that, like lucid dreaming, but I've never been able to actually activate it.
Really?
Every once in a while I can. Like, it's weird. I'll have dreams where I'm conscious of what's happening in the dream, but I still can't manipulate things like lucid dreaming, like how they advertise lucid dreaming, where it's like, you can be Superman and shit like that. I'm more like, I'm trying to run away from someone, and I know that I'm in a dream to a certain degree, but I still can't stop myself from like leaping in the air and never like touching the ground, or like every time I touch the ground, it's like super sticky, and then leaping into the air, and then it's like these huge like jumps, but I'm going like 2 feet at a time. I'm not like leaping in the air and jumping forward, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like break out.
Yeah.
This is a separate dream, by the way.
Trying to break the conditioning.
Exactly. But all I'm doing is just leaping into the air with like low gravity and coming directly down basically where I was. So I'm not escaping whatever I'm doing. So whatever psychological thing you want to derive from that, where I'm trying to run from something but I can't, and I'm leaping in the air, but I'm not going anywhere.
Hmm.
I don't know what that is. So I have dreams like that all the fucking time. Like I said, that I try to suppress with marijuana for the last like 10 years of my life.
Yeah. I mean, I've had lucid dreams where I had like partial control, but like it's only been towards the end of my sleeping.
Oh yeah.
Where like where I'm just more sensitive, so I guess it's a lighter sleep, so I have more control, something like that. I don't know, because it's always near the end.
Yeah, no, I get that too, where it's like I'll have dreams where a lot of things will be out of my control, but me speaking will be in my control.
Yeah.
And I'll be conscious of specifically what I'm saying, as if I'm there in the dream, and it'll feel like I'm there at that moment and it's real.
Yes.
Again, part of the reason why I smoke weed, so I don't feel like I'm actually there.
Wow.
I don't like that feeling of being like I'm in a different reality that doesn't make any fucking sense. But I'm conscious of exactly what I want to say and how I want to execute it, and my reactions are exactly how they would be in real life if this was happening. But everything else that's happening around me is completely unrealistic.
Just going ape shit.
Yeah, like another dream I had this week was that I went to work and everything was different. My shop was way more crowded than it was, with more people. Like, you know how my shop is, right? Imagine how one part of my shop, it would have like a strip table, but it's like a LAN network of people on computers.
Just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Like the shop just gets more crowded with stuff going on.
Yeah.
But my part of the shop is exactly the same, but more condensed and crowded. But my boss put up another camera at work, and it was like really obvious and stuff like that. And he's like talking shit to me and stuff like that. Like that part of my dream is unrealistic, but it's happening. But my reaction to it is exactly my reaction if that was actually happening.
Yeah, no,
it's
I hear what
weird,
you're saying.
right? And then I'd wake up from it and then feel like shit.
No, you feel like shit.
Another dream I had was, I was like, I don't know how to put this, but like, it was like as if we were on a class field trip, but I'm this age.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going out with a bunch of people in a group, and they're kind of like bugging me and like kind of bullying me or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out. I'm going to leave. And I'm like down by like Granville Island or some shit.
Right.
'Cause I remember water, and I remember like not a chain fence, but like you remember those old things on the playground at like elementary school where it'd be like a wooden pillar and then one chain, and it would go to another wooden pillar, but they'd only be like knee high or something. It's like a really ghetto,
like a bridge or something.
Not a bridge, but like it's like fence.
Yeah.
But it's not a fence. It's just a wooden pillar with a chain connecting another.
Oh, I see
like
what you're
just
saying.
a straight chain.
Yeah.
So that was in my dream,
So
but
like,
it was like
block the, or not block, but
kind of like
section
fence
off.
off, section off. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it was, but like by water.
Yes. Okay.
And for some reason we were playing Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, of course.
I don't remember why. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm out. I leave. Somehow I have a BMW car, which I don't have a license and I don't own a car. So wherever I pulled that on my ass, I'm driving, but I'm driving from the passenger seat.
Right. So it's an English car.
No. It's still an American style car. I am literally driving, not with the steering wheel in front of me and on my phone.
Okay. All right.
Right. And then I'm like driving around a little bit around my housing area, but it's, of course, it's a dream. So it's a distorted version of my housing area. So I'm like, okay, this is a little fucked up. I should probably drive in the driver's seat. So I pull over, pull the e-brake, get into the driver's actual seat.
Yes.
Start driving. I started driving with the e-brake still on.
Okay.
But it's not like the car's reacting to the fact that the e-brake's on. So I put the e-brake down. I'm driving down Granville Street from like 16th or whatever down towards Broadway. And there's a Shoppers Drug Mart around that area. And somehow I'm driving down the street. And also, I'm taking turns and going really fast. Like, I'm gassing it like I'm playing a video game.
Okay, all right.
And somehow,
I mean, why not?
by just driving down the street, I go from driving down the street to driving into the Shoppers Drug Mart, but with no resistance. Like you
just get in.
Like as if there was enough room for the car in the entrance, which there is not. Right? And then I'm trying to get out, like I'm now in there, and the security guard's like banging on my window, being like, "You need to get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are you doing driving a car in here?" And then I start getting into the point where I'm like, "How the fuck am I going to get out of this situation? Driving this car in this place. Like, how the fuck did I do this?" So I started imagining myself in the dream. I'm imagining the scenario where I'm basically going to have to Austin Powers, You know that scene
I
where he
know
backs up
exactly
in
what
it?
you're
I'm
talking
basically gonna
about,
have to
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a security guard right beside me. Like, you need to get the fuck out of this car. What the fuck are you doing driving in here? And then I wake up.
And then you wake up.
So it's like these are the dreams that I've been trying to escape my entire life.
I feel like you should be more impressed with yourself than anything.
Dude, it's so fucked up.
I managed to get a car inside the Shoppers Drug Mart without even breaking a wall.
Yeah, it's
Without smashing through anything.
well, I'll tell you this much: the inside was fucking trashed,
Okay.
but somehow I was able to get the car inside the Shoppers without breaking anything. I don't know what the fuck was up with me with that.
You have dreams where just giant metal vehicles are going inside of buildings, because that's 2 for 2.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, what was the other one?
The train. Did you say it went inside of her house?
It was more
Or did it
like
stop in front. Actually, you did say it stopped
in front, as
Yeah,
if
you're
it's
right.
like built beside the
Yeah,
train
okay.
station. But the train station in that dream,
Mhm.
it opened up into her apartment.
Right. Okay.
So
All
it's
right.
kind of like an
Almost
amalgamation
there.
of those, where it's not in the apartment, but it's like it's right. The entrance of the apartment is the opening of the
I
doors.
get what you're saying. Like the external of the station itself would, I guess, be extend to her.
Be the
apartment.
house.
Yes.
No, like it would be the house.
her house.
Like
okay.
imagine my living room,
Mm-hmm.
right, where my screen door is.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine like a SkyTrain could pull up, and then immediately you could walk into my apartment with no like hallway, no door, no nothing. It's just SkyTrain doors open. You'll walk into my
God,
place.
I would hate that so much.
Oh yeah, it would suck dick. But I mean, again,
Yeah. A
dream.
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's been my fucked up dreams for my fucking weird ass week.
Jesus Christ, I can't remember any of my dreams.
Yeah, well,
I'm
like
jealous
I
of
have
you.
very vivid dreams.
Hmm.
Very vivid.
All I can remember is that I have dreams, but like as soon as I wake up, they're gone.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes depending on the because that one dream that I just recounted, the really long one,
Mm-hmm.
that one I've had before, so I can almost viscerally remember it even
Mhm.
now. But I had that dream on Wednesday,
Hmm.
like Wednesday night, going into Thursday.
So you have multiple dreams that you have multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And like I said, I had the quantum mechanics dream on Tuesday night going into Wednesday
Yeah. Well,
when I was
that
really
probably-
freaking out.
That had probably had more to do with the fact that you were listening to it as you went.
Yeah,
to
I
sleep.
know.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm getting like suggestions from the things that I'm listening to.
Mhm.
It's fucking weird, dude.
I mean, I have dreams that are reoccurring, but I can't remember what they are until the dream happens, and I'm just like,
Oh, yeah. I've been here before.
I've been here before.
Yeah,
This
no.
has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be one of the things that contributes to me having a lucid dream as well.
Oh yeah, because you're
'Cause it's just
acknowledging it.
Yeah, where it's just like, oh yeah, this is all really fucking familiar.
Yeah.
I've been through this scenario.
The other thing with my dreams that I've like had in the past that again because I've been suppressing it for the last 10-ish
So,
years,
Yeah.
is I would get a lot of deja vu in like real life where I'd have a dream about something, forget the dream pretty much,
Yeah.
but then like I'd go to school and someone would say something and I'd finish their sentence.
Ooh.
So like fucked up shit would happen to me like that a lot, and I'm not just embellishing anything. For anyone who is listening to this, if there is anybody who thinks I'm just bullshitting, this has happened.
Okay.
I don't have any real witnesses. I'm trying to get more witnesses for when I say stuff. Like when I tell you a joke
Mhm.
and then it happens, like someone else tells the exact same type of joke like
Yes,
2 weeks later.
Yes.
And
On the
like
internet.
on the internet or whatever, but it's a recent thing that someone did and it's not from the past.
Yes.
How the fuck did I
Like-
pull that out of my ass?
Like your joke that Dave Chappelle also said about zigzagging. I can't remember the joke specifically.
Oh yeah. Where I,
And-
my stop, drop, and roll, but for an active shooter.
Yeah.
Zigzag.
You gave it a different name though. You didn't say zigzag. It meant zigzag, but you
Oh,
said
yeah.
something else. I forgot what that something else
Yeah, I
was.
can't remember, but yeah, that's like
Yeah.
I thought of that joke, and he produced that special, and I didn't go to any of his live events.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been putting any other like specials in the last year since the last special. So it seems very odd that we would have almost the exact same joke, and I don't consider myself a fucking high level comedian or anything like that. For him to have the exact same joke and nobody else is saying that joke.
Yeah. It's just
Have you
out of
heard
nowhere.
anyone else tell?
I
those
have
type
not
of-
heard that joke from anyone
Exactly.
else. Yes.
What the
First from you, then from Dave Chappelle.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like that's what I need. I need more witnesses for this shit.
Yeah.
So people can realize that I'm not fucking crazy.
Hey, I said trigger me timbers, and then what's her name? Shu said it.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's a little bit more because it's like a play on words.
It is. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's almost asking to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I almost heard something similar to that type of like trigger me timbers type of statement in like Family Guy or something like that.
Oh, really?
I feel like I did. Like that's what I'm thinking of when you say that. But I will give you that I first heard it really from you.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I don't know. Dave Chappelle stole your joke. I think you have to sue him.
No, it's okay. He can have that one.
He can have that one.
He got his 0% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics. That'll be what. That's his only embellishment.
He did have that for a while. And they didn't even release it to be done by the audience until like way later than they normally do.
I think like a couple days to a week.
Yeah. It was kind of weird because like they normally let the audience score. As far as I'm aware,
as soon as it's released,
then they let the audience.
It could be that the critics got it in advance, perhaps, but then again, it was released on Netflix, so I don't know how they would get it in advance.
I was keeping a close eye on it after we had watched it, so it was after we.
Oh, okay, so it was a delay.
Yeah, and so there was a delay there.
Okay.
And yet they gave Amy Schumer special like a fucking glorious review, and the audience
or the AOC documentary.
Yeah, they gave that one a really
100%.
Yeah,
35 audience.
It's just like, come on, guys, really?
Yeah.
At least try not to be biased. I'm not saying you can't. You have to be 100% not biased, but just try.
Yeah.
Okay, just try. I'm not asking for a lot here. Have you seen any Greta? I can't remember her name. Greta Thunberg or something like that.
I watched her thing that she said at the UN, and I'm like, she looks like she's performing. Now, I'm not criticizing what her statements are and stuff like that, but the like her doing like the face and like trying to force crying, I'm like, that seems fake as shit. Like she's trying to make it more impactful by crying, not just saying the fucking words.
Well,
and then I found out that her parents are like theater
are
professionals
they? I
or
didn't
some shit
actually
like
even
that.
know that.
Or, so there's something like that. I don't actually know. I just read online that someone said that her parents are like, one of them works in like theater, like stage theater and stuff like that. So it makes sense that they would be trying to inject some like, we're going to make it feel real by you crying. But it's like, she wasn't pulling it off and it looked really awkward. And you know, people can be awkward when they cry, but she didn't even break any tears. No. And she was making a weird face. She could have just said what she was saying and it would have been just as impactful.
Well, I mean, part of what's making her so popular is the anger. People want to see
anger. I'll take, but the fake crying or trying to force crying, because that's more sympathetic than anger.
Yeah,
people would be generally more sympathetic to someone for sadness than they would for anger. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you're angry and making a point, people are more likely to dismiss you. If you're sad and making a point, people are likely to be more sympathetic to what you're saying.
I feel like she rose to stardom because of anger, though. Like her
I feel like it's more like frustration is where I would say.
Okay, all right,
because she's trying to say it angrily, but it's what she's saying is, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with you guys not doing anything. I can get behind that statement. I can get behind the literal words she's saying. But the performance she's putting on, I don't buy that shit.
I hate the literal words she's saying.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It's like holding people accountable who have not held themselves accountable for the mistakes we have made environmentally. And I say we because I've also been a part of it for this.
I have never made any environmental mistakes.
You have.
Okay.
You littered. Past tense.
Okay. I throw stuff that can be decomposed onto the ground.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too.
All right. You know, I make sure I use plastic straws all the time.
Yeah, I know, we've heard that.
Yeah. 2 at a time sometimes, you know, maybe 3.
Yeah.
You know, I am great for the environment. No, well, like it really...
I would disagree with that statement, Ken. But go ahead.
It really angered... Well, maybe not angered. It really frustrated me.
Yeah.
Okay? So we can be a little more sympathetic here.
Sure.
Because, like, it was just... So I get that she's saying that, like, you guys are fucking up and you need to fix this problem.
Yeah.
That's fine. But then people are treating her as an expert, and this is what's really bothering me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, where it's
putting
just
her
like,
on a pedestal.
Yeah, people are just like, oh, you know, she knows what she's talking about. She's so smart. She's whatever, so many praises and whatnot. Yeah.
But to be fair, I think she does say like, you guys need to listen to the scientists, and that has been a thing where politicians and all the people in power basically ignore scientists when they're saying all the thing that they've been saying for the last like 20-30 years of like how we're fucking the climate. I think what she's just trying to I disagree with how other people are putting her on a pedestal, but what she's saying in regards to you guys should listen to these fucking scientists, not to me, so I can go be a kid. I can get behind that.
Does she say that?
I feel like I heard that from her statement. It's like, let me go back to being a kid and not having to do this bullshit
Mhm.
and start listening to the people who are supposed to be the experts.
Yeah, you're
Instead of
taking
ignoring
a more
them.
favorable opinion of her than I am. Then
Again,
Mhm.
I'm willing to listen to people who are being reasonable. That seems
Yeah.
like a pretty reasonable statement to me. Listen to the people who are knowledgeable and are actually talking some actual good shit that you've been ignoring, and let me go back to being a kid. I can agree with that statement.
You know what? You might be right. Maybe I should change my tune.
But all the other people who put her on a fucking pedestal
Those people are fucking
and try to
annoying.
put a narrative out there, fuck those people.
And the problem with those people, like I think the problem with putting her on a pedestal is that now that they're all referring to her almost as an expert, then people are now what they view as an expert is going to be criticized. You know, like now.
Oh yeah, because her actual knowledge of the thing is limited.
It's so very limited.
Yeah.
Like she's a fucking high school kid. Like she's not going to know
She
that
even
much.
in high school?
She dropped out, or
Oh.
I don't
Well,
know if she dropped. That might be a strong
I mean,
statement.
age-wise, is she?
She's 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But she's
Yeah, she
not.
is. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, she's not going to high school until things clear up. That's
Oh, okay.
supposedly.
She's
So
on strike.
Yeah, that might be
Okay.
it. And like she's had statements like, I spoke to Justin Trudeau and he's clearly not doing enough. Like,
Nobody's doing enough.
yeah,
let's
like
be honest.
it's this. Well, no.
And also, that's a very limited way of looking at it because you still have to get China and everyone else who's not Justin Trudeau to get on
That's
board.
kind of where
And
I was
all-
going to go with
all
this.
the
Yeah.
third world countries that are not technologically advanced as we are to have solar power and stuff like that are using technology from 50 to 80 years ago.
Yeah.
Getting those people to fucking not pollute and shit like that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
That's a monstrous task.
Yeah.
But like, it's very much like let's blame ourselves for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can do that. I'm not a fan of it, but we can do that.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, like it's, as far as I'm aware, China and India are the biggest contributors to global warming issues. But those things are not being talked about. All that's being talked about is, like how we're at fault. Which,
Yeah.
fuck, now that I say it out loud, I suppose that is a topic to be had. But
Well,
I
it's
don't
also
know.
like and this maybe not so much for Canada, but more for the States, and that doesn't make it that we're not held accountable, but we consider ourselves in North America to be the forefront of society.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's like hold those people accountable, because if you're going to say that, you're the most forward people and you're doing jack shit, well, that's not a very good sign of things to come, you know what I mean?
Well-
Whereas like getting China to do anything, including stop stealing patents from the US, is almost virtually impossible.
Yeah.
India might be a little bit more sympathetic and listen to people because
Yeah.
they're actually kind of like they want to.
They're trying to advance.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you can kind of see it.
But when you got like that many people, it's like good fucking luck, dude.
Yeah, but like if she's gonna be preaching this thing from such a passionate point of view and wanting to change the world, then she needs to be tackling the problem like at
A global level.
well, I mean global level work, but tackle it from like the biggest problem to the smallest problem. Like she needs to be able to tackle things in a way where she deals with the biggest problems first and then the smallest later.
How so? Like,
Talk about like the other countries that are worse than the US.
but then what would be the solution to that? I mean, you can talk about.
She hasn't mentioned any solutions for the United States either. She just said refer to
True,
the
it's
experts.
all
You can
mostly
say the
just
exact
criticism.
same thing
It's-
for
it's-
China.
It is mostly just criticism and not really any solutions. I
Yeah.
will agree with that. But again, her coming out and saying, fuck China. What are they doing? Fuck those guys. Everyone's just gonna be like, yeah, fuck China. But then that's not gonna solve anything either.
Oh, they might end up just calling her a racist. Actually,
Yeah, exactly. Too.
But
Actually,
I
you
guess
can't be
those people
You
don't.
can't be racist against Asian people. Remember
That's
that.
true. That is how it is now. Well, India, you can be racist against them.
Did you see the thing that Dinesh D'Souza put out where he's like
No.
conflating her with like how Nazis
Oh.
used like pigtail blonde
I did
blue-eyed
see that,
girls
yeah.
as like propaganda? I'm like, you fucking little shrew, you fucking dick. Like, I get the thing that you're trying to draw a comparison to, but what fucking low level bullshit you're doing?
Yeah, no. Well, there was a worse comparison that somebody made a little while. I want to say a day after that one, where they're just like, I can't remember what it is specifically, but it was along the lines of if she's able to make these criticisms like an adult, then she should be able to have sex like an adult.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, that's basically the take on that statement.
That's like the
there.
reverse of my thing with the trans kids, where it's like, 1 minute you have to be 18 to consent to sex. The next minute, a 6-year-old knows exactly what kind of sex they want to have for the rest of their life, and we're gonna give them hormone replacement therapy before they even hit puberty.
Yeah,
it's like,
you gotta
whoa,
temper it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. But basically, my frustration with her is how everyone is putting her on a pedestal. Which, like I said, I think this is going to have a net negative reaction. Where now that she's on a pedestal, people are just going to be like, "Oh, well, you're the idiot that trusted a fucking 16-year-old kid instead of going directly to the scientist."
Yeah, which I hope that they take the thing of, from what she's saying, of go listen to the scientists. I hope that most people, and the people in power more specifically, because fuck everybody else, because they're not going to do anything about it by just talking. I hope that actually spurs people to actually listen to scientists and not just have them come talk to Congress and be like, now we're going to go back to doing exactly what we're doing.
There was this PSA thing that she released recently. Very well edited, I must add.
Of course. Of course, dude. Of course it's going to be well edited.
Where she's like talking about what needs to happen for climate change and the solutions that there were 2 solutions provided in that PSA.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both very vague and not practical. Well, the second one might be somewhat practical. Option A, stop using fossil fuels altogether.
Good luck.
Or not, sorry, not option A. I should say do both of these if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Yeah. So, like, that's what they suggested. They're just like, we have to just stop using fossil fuels. I'm like, all right, you're an idiot. Okay. And then the second thing was plant more trees. That probably fairly simple.
Yeah.
We can
that's
do
probably
that.
a little bit more manageable.
Yeah. But like, just stop using fossil fuels. It's
impossible.
Just like, yeah,
at
not
this point.
not going to happen. We'll die before that happens.
Yeah, and everyone will just go to war for that shit.
Yeah.
So you will have to use fossil fuels.
Well, they'll fight you for it.
Yeah.
So
it's too much money in it for everyone to drop. It's the same shitty excuse that Trudeau gives for why he needs to build a pipeline, but he's also using it for climate change. It's like, it's good for all Canadians. No one would just leave thousands and thousands of barrels of oil in the ground. It's like, yeah, you're right. That's also a shitty excuse, though.
That's a shitty ass excuse. Oh, whatever. That dude did blackface, so, we can't trust him.
Yeah. I had a joke about that I was telling some of my friends. I'm like, I don't know why everyone's so mad at Justin Trudeau for his brown and blackface. I think it's wonderful that we had our first ethnic prime minister.
That's a good one. That's a good joke.
Yeah.
I saw a meme of it. Do you remember the Gillette commercial that came out a little while ago?
Not specifically, because I don't really watch commercials, but okay.
Well, it's the one that people were talking about with like razor blades last year, where it was like not making fun. It was a man can be, or whatever. Something like that. Yeah. I never actually watched the full commercial, but I'm sure you've seen the meme where some dude is about to like talk to this hot girl and like a black dude stops him. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So it's what is it? So the white dude is Justin Trudeau. Yeah. The hot girl is voters or something like that. Okay. And the black dude who's stopping the white dude is also Justin Trudeau.
Nice. Yeah. I saw a meme that was it's a picture of Johnny Quest. You know that old TV show?
I know Johnny Quest. I hated it, but yeah.
And it's the subtitle is it's Johnny Quest, his dad, I think, or whoever his like bodyguard is, and the brown kid, and they're on jetpacks. And the caption is Mike Pence and Baron von Trump help Trudeau escape.
That's so good. Yeah. Oh my god, the East Indian dude. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I never really watched it, so I don't remember that kid's name either. I don't want to be racist and make up some fucking name, but yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too.
No, that's good.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about, or I was gonna start injecting some triggers? I figured that would be a good trend.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, we could. I just want to point out again, even though I said it at the beginning, I was right about the whole Marvel thing. I knew that Marvel and Sony were gonna get back together.
I think my idea would have been better because it would have it would have been like a little cuckold for everybody.
Oh, in the Marvel universe. Like if they just made a third non-MCU movie.
Yeah, because I mean, again. I know I'm hard-headed about the ideas that I have sometimes. I can admit that. But I think it would have been great and really easy to write a story that was just about Spider-Man running from the cops, generically, right? As for his identity being out there in the world. Okay. And then after that movie's done, back in the MCU.
Yeah, and then in the fourth movie, they could just introduce Doctor Strange and just reverse everyone's memories.
Or just have him go into the MCU, and the first scene is, yo, doctor, I need you to do a little fucky shit. And he's like, what do you want me to do? He's like, I need everyone to forget who I am. He's like, Tony Stark, everyone knew he was Iron Man for his entire career. He's like, yeah. But come on. And he's like, all right, okay, fine. And that's the beginning of the movie. Roll credits, like intro credits.
So what? How many triggers do you have?
I have 2.
Oh, you have 2.
I have one that's like a light one, like a lighthearted one.
Okay,
it's like a personal one, and then I have one that's like political.
Okay, all right.
So do you want both of them today, or do you want me to do one?
Whatever is up for you. I'm good with both, but if you want to do one and save the one for the next
one,
that's
what do you want to start with? I feel like the political one will be more of a discussion, if anything, and the other one will be just more opinions.
What are we at? We're at 120 now, and we still haven't played news games, so pick the non-discussion one.
Okay. So this is my lighthearted one.
Okay.
This is my trigger me timbers.
Okay.
It's dudes who have girlfriends, right? And they're walking down the street, and they've got their girlfriends in like a headlock by putting their arm around their thing. And I'm like, I just look at that.
Kind of weird. Well, not weird, but it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's very awkward. And again, you can have different versions of that, but whenever there's like a tight grip or like a headlock thing, like if your forearm comes across your girl's chest or neck, it just looks bad, dude. Like the whole point of holding your woman is to be like you're not supposed to be gripping them like you're a bag of groceries. You're
supposed to fucking put them in a headlock and like choke them to death.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be gentle with a woman. You're supposed to put your arm on their lower back and be a light thing. Even if you're gonna do the on the shoulders thing, it shouldn't be the dead weight of your arm on someone's fucking shoulders.
What if it's like cold and raining? Okay, they gotta fucking cover them and shit.
That's not the same thing. We're talking about we're coming off of fucking summer, Ken. We're coming off of summer.
Okay,
these motherfuckers aren't even wearing jackets.
Yeah,
let alone for it to be cold.
I can't even really view it without a jacket. I feel like, fuck, if they're doing it without wearing a jacket, it just seems wrong to me.
I mean, regardless of the jacket or not, it's just the physical presence of an arm, so like aggressive, tight, whatever word you want to use, just seems so counterproductive to the whole point of holding a woman. The whole point is that you're supposed to be embracing each other.
Yes.
Aggressively is not necessarily what people do. Like, you want to be aggressive with someone, that's the shit you do in your bedroom and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's not the stuff you do on the street. It's like if you held someone's hand, but you had like a fucking padlock around their arm of like, you're like gripping their fucking arm. It's just a bad look.
Yes. Well, I mean, part of it is to just, I was going to say keep them warm, but
again,
that's loose.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just dudes are fucking lazy and they just put their fucking dead weight of their arm on their fucking girlfriend.
I feel like that's more work. I mean, you're putting it on them, but still just having it in this position is like more work, I feel.
Yeah, but that's the whole point, is you're putting yourself in that position to do that, right?
Yeah.
So why are you putting the effort or the strain on the woman?
Yeah,
like,
well, if it's like, if you're putting all the weight on her, then it's still, then it is putting more strain on her. But I still feel even having your arm up there is in itself a task.
Yeah, it's a task for you, the man.
Yeah.
So you're doing it as a way to like give, I suppose, some level of like physical.
What's intimacy almost?
Physical intimacy, comfort to. Or like showing that you care about your woman. But I just feel like when it's like, I can clearly see you're either putting your whole weight of your arm, just dead weight on your woman's shoulder. It's like, you're missing the fucking plot, dude. Or the other one that I've seen more recently is the fucking headlock where the forearm comes around and is like on the fucking chick's chest. Just, you're missing
all the way to the you're choking them at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying you're like an inch away from just being like,
it's like, this bitch is mine. If anybody even fucking looks at this bitch,
it's like,
I'm gonna fucking get him.
It looks like so bad. It looks insecure. I don't know what it is that they're fucking trying to accomplish. I don't know if just dudes just don't have certain tact when it comes to dealing with women, but it looks so bad. Like it would. I just don't get it. Like if I'm gonna do that kind of position where I'm not holding hands, which I already don't hold hands with women when I'm dating them and stuff like that, because I think the whole holding hands thing, it's like such a pointless fucking way to postulate that you're in a relationship with someone. If you're really secure in a relationship with someone, you don't need to hold hands.
Oh, it's just kind of nice.
It is kind of nice, but I mean, sweaty hands.
You can't do it for too long.
It's so fucking stupid. If I'm gonna do the arm thing, I'm not gonna put it on a woman's shoulders. If I do, I'm not putting full weight. But if I'm gonna do the arm around a woman, it's gonna be on their lower back.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean,
And it's not going to be gripping onto them like I'm holding on for fucking dear life for fucking sure. You know what I mean? The whole point is comfort. And I'll tell you what comfort isn't. It's using your fucking arm like a crab cracker on your fucking woman's neck. Bad move.
you don't think that's gonna play well?
I don't think so. It doesn't look good to me. I want to take that woman aside and be like, I want to show you what a real man does when he wants to treat you good. This is how it is. And they're going to be like, man, you're right.
Mm-hmm. I like holding hands when it's when you're close to the woman, when your arms are touching, when your arms are like close to each other.
Yeah, I suppose if you just need to be closer to each other.
Yeah, because I've seen some couples where they're standing almost like half an arm's length apart.
Yeah.
While holding hands, and that to me looks kind of awkward.
Yeah. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
But I just find generally as me, I guess I get sweaty hands or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just personally don't like the idea of holding hands. I think it gets pointless and you end up stop holding hands because your hands get all tight and sweaty anyway. So
yeah, you can't do it for too long.
So I've just like, I just don't even like that. I think it's like a pointless way of telling everyone that you're in a relationship with someone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I guess I just never viewed it as signaling.
I think it is.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Maybe some bitches view it. I guess most women would view it that way.
Yeah. Or maybe they like it because it's that like comfort and affection that you're showing them by touching. Mm-hmm. But again, like I just feel like there are better ways to show that you care about someone and that you're physically present with them than
you could slap their bum. You could cop a feel.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
you know those things show
as
affection.
long as there's some level of understanding and consent between the two of you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's my lighthearted trigger.
There was once when I was working at Toys R Us and this dude, and he just had his, which you see every once in a while, where his hand was in the chick's back pocket.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and
that's not bad.
It's whatever, yeah. But like as she's like walking out of the store, he's like almost his full arm is extended,
yeah,
and it's still in the chick's back pocket, and he's like running after her or something.
Yeah, that's a bad move.
I was just like, what the fuck's going on there?
You're missing the plot, dude. Unless there's a reason why you're supposed to be hanging back, you shouldn't. Again, I hate that one that's just even friends when people walk in a staggered. Mm-hmm. It's like if I'm walking with you, we're walking side by side.
Well, sometimes you can't help it.
Sometimes I suppose, but if it's like, let's say for the general duration of the walk, if I have to look over my shoulder to talk to you when I'm supposed to be hanging out with you, I fucking hate that. I get so angry at people. I'm like, I tell them, I'm like, walk faster, walk beside me because fuck you.
I'm not hold my hand.
If we have to
show everyone that we're dating.
If we have to
you guys,
that's what I have to do. Fine, fuck it. But I fucking hate that.
I mean, we held hand once, I think. Yeah, during the when we went to that place with the really long bridge, and I can't remember what it's called now.
Place with a really long bridge.
Yeah, you don't remember that? Fuck, everyone goes there. It's basically like a tourist destination. Really long, like rickety bridge.
Oh, the Capilano Suspension Bridge?
Was that it? I think that's it. Right?
The one in like North Van?
Yeah, that might be right. Yeah.
And it just goes over a huge gorge?
Yeah.
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 That's Capilano Suspension Bridge.
We held hands there.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know if you remember that.
I kind of remember that. It's not something that I cherish in my memory or anything like that, but I will cherish. But I do remember something like that. And it does sound like something that I would do.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds like something I would do too. Good trigger. Good trigger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have a trigger you want to do, or do you want me to go into my political trigger?
I'll do mine and then you do yours.
Go for it.
We'll go back and forth. Okay. So what triggers my timbers is because somebody said this to me earlier this week. The people who say perception is reality. Now, in some regards, that's true.
Okay.
But usually when people say it, it's because they're fucking retarded and they're saying stupid shit in an argument.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like if you're arguing with somebody politically and then or he doesn't even have to say politically, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's just my opinion." You know what? I should have rephrased it like that because perception is reality is
perception is by some de facto like having an opinion on something.
Yeah.
Because it's how you're perceiving it.
It's how you're perceiving it. But just because that's how you're perceiving it doesn't mean that's how it is. That's the way I view it. And I can see where people are coming from, but I view things as there's one singular truth, and however you're viewing that truth,
it's just how you're interfacing.
How you're interfacing with it. And
it's like the facts versus feelings thing.
Yeah, I actually really like saying to people. Sometimes I'll even argue with conservatives online for fun, and I'll say to them something like, "My feelings don't care about your fact."
Yeah,
I just love that statement. just to see how
Just
they
to fuck
react
with
to it.
them.
Yeah, just to fuck with them. It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyways, I don't want to get into too much detail about it, but like I was arguing with somebody a little while ago, and they're like, they ended up just saying, "Oh, well, that's just my perception of things."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, well, your perception is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't fucking care what you think. Okay, you are wrong. Fuck you. All right, fuck off. I fucking hate that statement that perception is reality. I partially agree with it, but I still
But
hate
it's
it.
usually used to bend the truth in your favor.
Yeah,
and disregard.
it's usually used to ignore the truth.
Yeah.
It's usually used to just like be like, oh well, that's just how I think of something.
Yeah.
Well, then you're fucking retarded.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge that how you're thinking about things is, at the very least, if you want to put it positively, abstract from how reality is. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, I can say that the color blue of the sky is meaningless to me, and I actually think it's the color yellow, but that doesn't mean that everyone else is seeing the color yellow or is going to identify it as yellow.
It's yes, no, completely. I was gonna say it's along the lines of like you have this puzzle here, and if somebody pointed to this and said that's an orange, like that's not the fruit orange, it's a puzzle.
That's a hard stretch, but yeah, that
Well,
would be something.
Yeah, I'm using that as an example.
garbage example?
A hyperbole example.
Hyperbole?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my trigger. Go ahead. You have another one.
Okay. This one can be a debate between us, where it's not going to be it's probably not going to be a debate.
I wholeheartedly agree already.
Probably going to be just us ragging on fucking dumbasses, but it's my other trigger is strategic voting.
I fucking hate strategic voting.
Oh my god,
so much.
It's so bad.
So fucking
it's
much.
It's what got us Justin Trudeau 4 years ago, and I didn't vote Justin Trudeau. I voted NDP.
I voted NDP as well.
Right?
Yeah.
I wanted Jack Layton, and it's too bad that he fucking died.
Yeah, man.
Because
that guy
even
was
if we did
dope
elect
as
him,
fuck.
it would have been a shit show, and Mulcair would have been in. So I guess it's kind of worked out for the best. But everyone who was saying that we need to fearmonger against the fucking conservatives and vote for the liberals and all band together and vote for the liberals, I fucking hated that sentiment, and I refused to vote for the liberals because of that, and I voted NDP. Now, because of all the blackface shit, people are doing the exact same thing. They're just adding in the liberals and the conservatives into the strategic voting thing. Now, I'm pretty open with telling people who I'm going to vote for and stuff like that if you really want to know. So I was going to vote for NDP, and I still am trying to fight with it, so the election hasn't happened yet, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. But now people are just doing the exact same thing that they did with Justin Trudeau, making a bunch of excuses of why we can't vote for other people, and we need to vote for the NDP because everyone knows that no one's going to vote for the Greens enough for them to actually get elected, and people are still too afraid of the Conservatives or now the Liberals getting voted in, so now we all must vote NDP. Now, I was already set on voting for the NDP before all this shit happened, but in the last week, it's just been a fucking waterfall of you must vote for the NDP or everyone's got to band together to vote for the NDP.
Oh, shit.
The NDP are the only real good party to vote for because of all the blackface shit.
Yeah.
And now I don't even want to vote for the NDP.
Yeah.
Now I'm about 2 seconds away from voting for Green. In fact, if they start doing this shit with the Greens, I'm going to vote Conservative just to say fuck you. And I'm not even fucking joking.
Yeah.
I'm that much of a contrarian.
Yeah, no, you and I are very similar like
I
that. We're
fucking
both very petty.
Hate that shit. I don't care if it's petty or not. I fucking hate that. It's the exact fucking problem of the reason why everything that Trudeau has done has been like, I shouldn't say completely bullshit, but I'm going to use this as a framework for my argument, right? He came to Vancouver specifically touting that he was going to legalize marijuana. It took him 3.5 years, and he was able to legalize marijuana on 4/20. You're telling me a politician, it took him 3.5 years to legalize marijuana on a joke day,
Yeah.
right? He was able to line that up. Fuck you. That's a lie. He was able to do that because he put it off the last fucking minute, 6 months before a new election, because it would make him look good, because he knew that it would get some re-election votes, because it would say, I did something. And I'm quoting, air quoting over here for people who can't see, because
Trudeau.
we don't. So like, it's the fucking stupidest thing. Everything that Trudeau has been criticized for, the SNC Lavalin shit, the blackface stuff, which obviously no one knew about beforehand.
Yeah.
So you can't really hold anyone accountable for
I might
voting
vote.
for him.
I might vote for him because of the blackface. That made me respect him more.
That's fair, fine. But I mean, he backpedaled, so you can't vote for
Fuck,
him
he
anymore.
did backpedal. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Trudeau. I'm
So-
not voting for you anymore.
So there you go, right? It's like everything that you complain about Trudeau and what he has done and stuff like that, you let this happen by fear-mongering against the fucking conservatives, which, again, I don't necessarily agree with the conservative values and how they push them and stuff like that. I didn't necessarily want Stephen Harper as prime minister either, but I do believe in the idea of democracy, that if the will of the people say that they want Stephen Harper, they want the conservatives in power because they are unhappy with what has been done in the past and they want a change in government, then I say, or I guess it would have been just another conservative government from the last time.
Yes.
It was Harper before that, and then it became Trudeau. But if the will of the people say conservatives is what we want, then for fuck's sakes, conservatives is what the people fucking want. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not saying that's necessarily what's going to happen now, but the fact that everyone needs to keep pushing the strategic voting shit down everyone's throats, it's fucking disgusting, and it's a mockery of what democracy actually is. It makes it completely pointless. It's just a popularity game again.
Yes.
It's like being in fucking high school and you have one person who sounds intelligent and then you have one person who just has a lot of friends. It's stupid. It makes no point. There's no reason to vote politically this way because it has no bearing on the actual political aspects. You're just voting because you don't want this person.
It does have bearing, but it's like...
It's low level.
Yeah.
It's just basically, this is the next best choice.
Yeah.
So we all must vote for the next best choice. That's not how democracy works. Democracy is the general consensus of the people saying, this is what we want from our country, from all our individual groups, from all our individual regions, from all our different perspectives, coming together and saying, well, this is what Canada voted for. We voted for 40% this, and not 40% more of this other thing. If that's what it is, I'll take Harper. Yeah. Like, if that's what it is,
Harper.
I know, but I'm saying, like, in retrospect, right? Or in this case, I guess what's his name? Scheer, right? Yeah. If that's what I'll vote not for him, and if everybody else votes for him, guess what? I can't do anything about it. It's the same thing with Trump, which is a little more fucky because they have the Electoral College.
Yes.
Because technically, in my view of democracy, which they don't actually have a real democracy, they have a constitutional democracy.
Is that what it is? Yeah. I thought it was social democracy. I don't know.
It's a constitutional democracy, I believe, where there's the Electoral College that do like an overriding vote where you can vote, but that just influences the Electoral College to vote a particular way. But if those people in the Electoral College, for America, obviously, vote the way they want to, what they think is best for their people, right? Which, again, is its own fucky thing. But
at first, I didn't like the Electoral College, like after Trump got voted in. But after reading about it, I almost want to say it's genius.
I disagree. I think it's I want, and again, I'm not a politically savvy person, but just I always like keeping things simple. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If 10 people vote for one person and 11 people vote for one person, then the person who got 11 votes should win.
Yes.
Period. I don't give a fuck. Right? This is the will of the people. If the majority of people in a country, the general majority vote one way, then that majority should be the one who wins.
But then, like, I mean, I'm sure you know the criticism of
where it's like California would always win every single fucking thing because they have all the money.
2 states would have like all of the fucking
so obviously
power.
For America, there needs to be a better way of divvying things up. Maybe it needs to be that the entire state, and again, I shouldn't be talking about America, I should stick to Canada, but it should be like, if the entire state of California votes one way, that's one Democratic vote.
Yeah.
If Texas votes all Republican or majority Republican, that's one Republican vote. There's 51 states. It's a tiebreaker no matter what you do.
Yeah, so you think that instead of weighing each state like
with
individually,
an arbitrary amount of electoral votes,
it is admittedly it is fairly arbitrary. It doesn't feel like
it's probably consistent. Not arbitrary, but it seems that way. When it's like, why is this state more important than this state? Because it's the exact same problem of having an enormous amount of votes coming from one place and a less amount of votes coming from another place.
Yeah,
like I get that.
The only problem is if you say like all of California only counts as one vote now instead of, I forgot how many they got. Then you're devaluing it even more. I would say then you're devaluing each individual person's vote even more.
I suppose, but then my perspective on that is that this is the sum of the whole of your state. Your state might be 45% this, 55% this, but that's a majority.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
You can't have everything. Like if you have a split down the middle, maybe that's one vote for each. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good system. Again, I'm not.
But whatever.
I'm not a fucking political strategist or whatever. But I just feel like that disbalance leads to people being upset about Trump because of some arbitrary thing like the Electoral College. Bringing it back to Canada, the strategic voting thing. It just makes the whole point of voting democracy pointless.
Yeah, no, I voted once strategically when it was first introduced to me. I'm just like, oh, I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess
because
I'll
it gets the general idea of what you think people want out there, but then you disregard everybody else who wanted to vote the other way.
Well, like almost after I did it, I'm just like, you know what? I kind of regret not just voting for a candidate I thought was most ideal.
Exactly. That's the whole point of voting.
It feels like I'm shooting myself in the foot here.
You're voting how you feel, what you agree with. Months ago when I heard about Jagmeet Singh, I'm like, this guy seems legit. I don't really like what Trudeau's done, and I don't really find the Conservatives that favorable.
Is Jagmeet, is he NDP?
Yeah, he's the NDP leader.
NDP, yeah.
And the Greens obviously are never going to win a majority seating to actually run. So unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, I'm not saying it's a throwaway vote. I'm just saying, like, if you want your party to win, or what your perspective is, you need to vote for one of the three in our country.
Yes.
Generally, right? You could vote Green, and that'd be nice because the more votes they get every year, the bigger their portion in the House of Commons is.
Yes.
So, I mean, I can get behind that sentiment. But again, I'm not going to vote Green unless the strategic voting thing keeps getting shoved down my fucking throat, because it just pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
I don't want Trudeau. I don't want Scheer necessarily.
Scheer does have one thing that I really like.
Again, it's always going to be like one, two things, right? But then there's other things. Yeah, go for it. Of course, I don't care.
Because like everyone has been pushing this as like a negative value, but I think it's great. He wants to punish universities that deplatform people.
Yeah, no, I see. I've heard about that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with it, but I don't agree with like the 80 others.
Yeah, no, things. Like I see the list of everything that everyone hates about him.
Yeah,
I'm like, I like that one thing.
Yeah,
I hate everything else.
Exactly. It's the same thing, right? Yeah. And again, I was ready to vote NDP. I've been ready to vote NDP for the last like 2-3 months, but in this last week, it's just been a fucking gross, disgusting look of like, well, guess what? We did strategic voting last time and it didn't work out. So let's do it again. It's like, you're missing the fucking point of what happened with Trudeau, guys. You're missing the point that he was criticized for being unqualified. Whatever that's supposed to mean, because that's the same thing that Jagmeet Singh is. He's basically I
don't know how you can be qualified to be prime minister.
Basically, you've been in the political spectrum for a long time.
To be honest, nobody's going to be qualified for that job.
Yeah, you have to be fucking old as dick.
Yeah.
And most times we're voting for like 35 and 40-year-olds.
Yeah, we actually do get them kind of young compared to the States. Yeah.
Yeah, generally. The States get them really old. They go for the elder mentality a lot more. But yeah, like, again, I was ready to vote NDP, and now I kind of don't want to. Now I think I might just vote Green just to say fuck you to the strategic voters. Because you know what? They need to keep losing until they realize that the fucking idea of doing this every 4 years just doesn't work. It's not the way voting should be. I'm
going to just vote Conservative.
I mean, go for it. I'm not going to judge you for that. You can vote exactly. If you think that voting Conservative is going to get you the one thing that you want, and that's all you want, or you want to troll, I don't care what it is.
No, it's
that's
your
perspective.
That's
you. That's you, a Canadian citizen, right? You are expressing yourself politically by voting in a particular way. If you are an asshole and want to vote Conservative because you want to say fuck you, but not even because you like Conservatives, that is your perspective.
Yeah.
That is you as a Canadian. If you want to fucking torch the fucking government like America feels like they've done to themselves with Trump, which is a bit unrealistic, but it's the way that it's portrayed, then guess what? You set fire to your country. Now watch it burn, right? Then see what happens afterwards. See what you can get from the ashes. I'm totally fine with that. That's how things go. They come in waves. They come back and forth. That's why the Conservatives get 4. Then they might get 4 more. Then the Liberals come back. Then the Conservatives come back. Then the Liberals come back. It's the same fucking swap. The pendulum always swings back and forth all the fucking time.
Has NDP... when was the last time NDP won that election? It's got to be a million fucking years ago.
I feel like they have. You can agree with me on that.
I'm almost certain they have, but I
can't remember last time.
I want to say it's like before we were born, to be honest.
I feel like it was. Because I can't even... Do you remember the original Trudeau?
Pierre?
Yeah. Do you remember what party he was? Was he liberal?
I want to say... I'm pretty sure he was liberal.
I'm pretty sure he was
Pierre
liberal
Trudeau?
too. Yeah.
That guy was badass as fuck.
Yeah, I thought he was too.
Pierre.
He was also a dick, but I mean, he was probably the coolest prime minister we've had in a long fucking time.
It's like... He was basically Trump. He was basically
Trump. He was Trump, but cool.
He was cool
and not
Trump.
A dick.
No, you just said he was a dick, and you said he's not a dick.
Yeah, but he's not like... He's not a Trump-like dick. He raised up his own ass.
No, Pierre, I think he is.
Okay, he was
he was like peeing on shit, wasn't he? I remember stuff like that. Like, I remember he used to be very rambunctious.
List of Canadian federal general elections. Okay, come on.
So Shane is just trying to figure out
summary of results.
The new Democratic Party had
God.
last one.
The more that we do this podcast, and I have to keep using Wikipedia as fucking
I don't know why you try to be accurate. It's a podcast. I'm fine with
Because
just being
I don't
wrong.
want to be criticized for being fucking retarded.
It's your truth, man. It's fine.
It's my truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see this. Liberals. We've had a lot of conservatives.
Have we really?
Yeah.
Are we mostly a conservative country?
And then, yeah, again, it's like a streak. It's like 3 conservative, 2 liberal, 2 conservative, 2 liberal. It's like this for years.
Yeah, I want to say like NDP got in once before we were born, and then they fucked things up so badly everyone started to hate them. Like that's kind of the story that I've been told, but I can't remember. I don't know if you've been told something similar.
Sounds kind of familiar. Okay, liberals had a long streak from like 1911 till 1926.
When was Pierre in power?
Like the 80s, 90s?
Okay.
I'm looking through it right now.
It had to be early 90s, I want to say.
I don't think NDP has ever won, it looks like.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just looking at this briefly right now, but it just looks like it's progressive conservatives. No, yeah, it's like the conservatives would lose, but it's not the conservatives who win. Mm-hmm. It's like progressive conservatives.
Yeah, because it was before there were like 2 conservative parties, if I remember correctly, and then they
they bounded together.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess the NDP party has never won.
It looks like they have not. Oh, okay, wait. Liberals led by former Prime Minister just defeat. Yeah, so he was 1980.
1980?
That's when he won his first one.
Huh. I figured it was a little bit later than that. I wanted to say early 90s.
Hold on a second. What does this say? Progressive conservatives led by Joe Clark defeat liberals led by Prime Minister... Oh, hey. So he won in 1980. Boy, that's only 1 year. What the fuck?
So he was only in power for 1 year? There's no way.
No, he won.
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh, actually, he won for a while.
Yeah, well, everyone loved him.
Fucking, yeah, Trudeau. The original Trudeau. He fucking flopped parties a lot. Holy shit.
Did he really?
Yeah, look at this. Liberals, 1968. Liberals led by Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau are re-elected. 1972, Liberals led by Prime Minister Trudeau, right? Liberals led by Prime Minister Trudeau, 74. That's only 2 years. Progressive Conservatives led by Joe Clark defeat him in 79.
I don't remember Joe Clark, but all right.
Some promises, but the Liberals capture and come back.
All right, we gotta move on.
I don't think the NDP have ever fucking won.
It's already been 1 hour and 45 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to your music or my news game.
That's true. But those are pretty short.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like the NDP have never won.
Fuck strategic voting, then.
Yeah, I agree.
Strategic voting is for fucking...
For cucks.
Cucks. Fuck those cucks. All right.
Fuck the cucks.
What song was stuck in your head this week?
This song that was stuck in my head this week was St. Elmo's Fire by John Parr.
I got nothing.
You will probably not remember it, but again, this came from Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Remember that one part when they're going, it's just when it's Miles and Peter B. Parker?
Okay.
And they're on the bus after he eats the burger and he's like, we're not swinging to the facility. I'm taking the bus.
Yeah.
And then they do that one part where they're like gearing up in the snow.
Okay, yes.
That song that plays, that's St. Elmo's Fire. I'll play it for you later.
Okay.
But it's like a song from a movie from the 80s that apparently Joel Schumacher directed, which I criticize for not being gay enough. Joel Schumacher.
Song or Joel Schumacher?
Joel Schumacher's movie.
Okay.
Because he did the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, not gay enough.
Those were gay enough.
No, they could be more
But
gay.
his other movies from back then... Not gay enough.
Not
Obviously,
gay
he was amping it up, slowly getting the gay on.
All I'm saying is if I directed those Batman movies, they'd be way more gay, okay?
They probably would.
Yeah.
That would probably just drip from you gay.
I would make them gay as fuck. All right? All right.
So enjoy that listening, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Are you ready for...
Which one's fake news?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have to title it. Which one is fake news? I'll let you say it. Which one is
fake news?
Yeah, you're better at it than I am. Okay, this week is I felt like it was gonna be a little bit harder, so I made sure this it might be a tip, it might actually hinder you.
Okay.
But I made the fake article slightly more outlandish. I grabbed a slightly more outlandish fake article.
Oh, okay. You didn't edit it yourself.
No.
You just found one that was more ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the other articles I found were fairly ridiculous, I felt in general. Okay. So I'm just going to put this aside here. Man takes out 10-inch penis in front of shop staff to prove he wasn't stealing.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Army warns soldiers to be ready for potential violence by incels at Joker screening.
Okay, I know that one's true already, so you killed yourself on that one. But okay, yeah.
Yeah. Anti-racism event hosted by Edinburgh. I like saying it like that. Edinburgh University.
Okay.
Bans white people from asking questions.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a random piece of paper that just says the word stuff on it.
Nice.
Okay.
The environment, Ken.
Yeah, like I said, great for the environment.
White bleach paper with the single word in black print, stuff.
Yeah.
Not even on the whole page. We're talking like normal 8 or 10 point fucking font.
Yeah. The printer wasn't working, so I was just like trying to just test things out, trying to see what I could get to get it work. I forgot to just recycle that. Okay. iOS 13 dark mode is just blackface for your phone and should be classified as a hate crime to use.
Okay.
All right.
Give me the titles.
There you go.
All right. Oh, these are out of order.
Yeah, they are. Sorry about that.
Okay. I'm going to try to read them in order the way you originally read them. Man takes out 10-inch penis in front of shop staff to prove he wasn't stealing. Seems pretty legit. I mean, people have done stupider stuff.
Okay.
So I could see that being a real title. Like,
okay.
It's like, I wasn't stealing anything. Here, you want to see my dick? Like, I mean, come on. That's pretty easy. Army warns soldiers to be ready for potential violence by incels at Joker screening. I already know that's true.
Okay.
And we can talk about it, but my initial point on that is, how did we go from incels being like self-deprecating and like kind of sad to being like violent and like they're going to shoot at movie theaters? I don't know how we jumped the gun on that one.
Yeah, it kind of took a sharp turn.
I guess there has been some incel violence, but it's like, that's like saying, that's basically like saying white supremacist now.
Well, the only incel violent that I know of was that kid that shot up the sorority. I forgot.
Yeah, but that's still
name.
pretty bad.
No, it's pretty bad, but it was even before the term incel was around. Okay. Like, I'm trying to say the timeline doesn't match up.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Anti-racism event hosted by Edinburgh University bans white people from asking questions. In this day and age, really, I'm not grasping at straws to believe that one. Final one. iOS 13 dark mode is just blackface for your phone and should be classified as a hate crime to use. All right. The 10-inch penis one, honestly, it just seems so like, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like an accessible crime, not an accessible crime, but like something stupid that someone would do.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Something stupid that someone would do. That I think that one's a real headline too.
Okay.
We've already killed the army soldiers one. Yes. I already know that one's real. Now, which racism one is it going to be this time? I'm going to say the fake news is the iOS 13 dark mode because that's probably like an opinion piece one. Mm-hmm. Whereas the other one, like I could totally see that being like so hypocritical. It's so obvious to me that it's real. Okay. Because it's like an anti-racism event where you go racist against white people, which has totally been happening for the last 6 months to a year or more.
They want to segregate white people or black people everywhere in the name of anti-racism.
I'm going to say that one's real too. So I'm going to say that the fake news is the iOS 13 dark mode is just blackface for your phone.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
You got it right.
Yeah. Although I will say the anti-racism one, that's pretty close. It's not momfucker close to skirting the edge, but it's pretty close to skirting the edge of not being real. But it's like last week. It would be a better reality if that one was the fake one.
You think so? Yeah.
Come on, dark.
I don't know. I feel like
the dark mode one. That's an opinion. That's an opinion. This is something like the banning white people from asking questions. That's an action. That's happening. You know. This one's like it should be a hate crime to use. Mm-hmm. It's an opinion piece, right? So if this was real, it would just be like some idiot's dumb fucking progressive opinion. But this one's literally happening. It's not
happening.
Good.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I suppose, yeah.
That's like what black people shouldn't use the same washrooms as white people. That's no different.
All right, let's start with the fake one. All right. I'm just going to skim through these because it's already 1 hour 55.
Go for it.
Okay, so this is from NPC Daily.
Yeah.
All right. On September 9th, Apple released iOS 13 for the iPhone, and one of the most popular new features was dark mode, which can darken the background of lighter colored user interface modes in order to be easier on the eyes. I fucking love dark mode everything.
Yeah, when I found out that about YouTube, I switched mine over.
Oh yeah. I switch almost everything that I can to dark mode.
It's way easier on the eyes.
Oh yeah. Though some may defend the use of this setting as a way to minimize eye damage, it intrinsically insensitivity and its intrinsic insensitivity and racist connotations cannot go unnoticed.
Of course.
In the light of recent events that Justin Trudeau appeared in blackface for many years of his life simply to make fun of people of color. That's the reason he did it, to make fun of people of color.
Of course. 20 years ago or 10 years ago, whatever the fuck it was.
Purposely altering your white iPhone screen to appear darker is no different. It's racially aggressive and could unnecessarily trigger oppressed individuals who value their ethnicity. Have you ever noticed that like all the people that get mad at racial injustices are white people?
Yeah. Yeah, because they're trying to prove that they're not racist.
It's like they're
trying to be a white savior, and they don't realize that they're exactly everything that they criticize about fucking white people.
They're basically the racists.
Yeah.
Like it's like that SNL dude who got
Shane Gillis.
Yeah. Who was fired because of his Asian jokes.
He was fired for more than just Asian jokes. He said nigger, he said a bunch of other stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and he was saying it about people. He wasn't just saying it like how I say it, where it's like an out of context.
I only heard about the fucking Asian shit.
Oh yeah,
like,
well, I mean that's part of it, but like he called people chink, specifically people too, like
to their face or something.
No, but on the podcast, like as if me and you were talking about someone who was Asian, and I called them a chink.
I see.
It would be like that kind of context. But keep in mind, it's also he's a comedian, so that he's kind of trying to ride under. I don't think the things I ever heard of those little clips were very funny or well done, and I also don't think necessarily calling someone out when you're not looking at them in the face is a pussy way of calling someone. That's the
only way you should be doing. Everyone should only be insulting people, not to their face.
That's a pussy way of doing it.
Yeah, it's like
bitch move.
It's like what I always say to people: if you're gonna insult me, just do it behind my back. I don't want to deal with this shit.
I guess I can resonate with that sentiment, but I think using racial slurs and not being in someone's face, that's a bitch move.
Okay, fine. Well, I mean, even with racial slurs, just do it behind my back. I don't want to deal with that shit.
I mean, you've called yourself, and I've called you a sand nigger. So I mean, really.
Well, I'm a sand nigger.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, but I'm doing it to your face, so it contradicts what you're saying right now by saying
because it doesn't really bother me.
You know, I need you to turn around right now so I can say some racially insensitive stuff. No, you're not. I need to see your full back.
I'm not getting off this chair.
I know.
Okay. Man takes out 10-inch penis in front of shop staff to prove he wasn't stealing.
Does the article say his penis was actually like 6 inches?
I didn't actually go through it. I printed these like just before coming here.
I know.
So this is from twnews.co.uk. A man with a very large penis was accused of shoplifting.
Okay, so he does have a big dick, so he's not just embellishing it.
No, yeah, I think that's what it is. Due to his suspicious package. That's a great first sentence. He's shoplifting due to his suspicious package.
Yeah.
What the fuck of that?
That's good writing. See? That's good journalism.
Okay. It says his name here, but I won't mention it, even though it's public at this point. But I'll just say Jack and his girlfriend were at the till of Scott Menswear in Stoke-on-Trent. I don't know what that means. I guess Stoke-on-Trent is the business. Buying 400 pounds of gear when a female manager made a stinging accusation. As with whatever 18-month-old granddaughter watched on, the probing staff member pointed at the 47-year-old bald. He's 47. Damn. Good for his girlfriend.
I don't think your dick really gets smaller at 47.
No,
maybe when you're like 70 or something like that, when you're really old.
Well, does it ever shrink, or does it?
I don't know.
I'd imagine you just have harder time getting it.
Yeah. You just can't. Oh, you know what? He's a shower, not a grower. Yeah, right.
That might be it.
I don't think he whipped out a fucking hard 10-inch dick.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he's starting at 10, so it could only get better.
I mean, that's the whole point of the grower versus shower thing. Because the growers, they're small, flaccid, and then they get big.
Okay.
And then the showers, they just whip their flaccid dick around, but they don't really get any bigger because it just fills out the space that's already there.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, but basically, but even at 10 inches, like, even if he's 10-inch flaccid, if that gets hard and doesn't get any bigger, it's still 10
Yeah,
inches.
no, I can agree with that. Yeah, okay.
You know, a couple inches smaller than me. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We all know that Arabs have 2-inch dicks and have to fucking dig up oil and shoot people and like have their women all wrapped up to be able to feel secure.
The fucking Arabs do have small penises.
Told you.
Yeah. She accused him of having stuffed clothes down the front of what he later admitted were very tight jeans. So some bitch is just looking at his dick and just being like, "Yeah, you fucking stole something.
Prove it.
Yeah,
Prove it. Prove it's not a chocolate bar."
Okay, I'm just gonna try to get to the part where he whips it out. Let's see. So, in a bid to clear his name, the under fire shopper dropped his trousers on the floor. The manager simply could not believe what he had in his trousers. I can't help the way I'm made. I just kept telling her that it was my penis.
Nice.
Oh my god. Despite his boxer-clad lower half, despite presenting his boxer-clad lower half to the manager, he was not yet free of the suspicion. "What is that bulge?" the woman asked, gesturing to his heftily proportioned private area. Mr. X was then taken to a cubicle by male security guards, he claimed, and made to show his 10-inch penis.
I mean, he should have just whipped it out there on the floor, let's be honest.
I mean, why
like,
not?
as soon as the little fucking beeping sensors go off, he should just, boom, right at the cash register, put it fucking right on the scale.
Just right on the scale, yeah. Weigh this out, bitch. The guard shook his head, left the cubicle, and approached the manager, who said, "Please tell me he's got something down there." Guard replied, "No."
Yes, but it's dick.
Just dick. All unadulterated dick. Okay. So this is the next one. Army warns soldiers to be ready for potential violence by incels at Joker screenings. This is by Fox News. So how did you know about this one?
It was just a news report that I heard about.
Okay, so you just
like I watched Philip DeFranco, so some news things I do catch over the week.
Okay,
and that was one of the things where I think they might talk about in the article, but they basically like the army was like monitoring the dark web sites or some dark web sites, and there was some talk about shooting up some anonymous theater, which I assume is they're saying it's anonymous for the article and for the public, so that no one's specifically worried about going to a specific theater about it getting shot up.
Enough,
That's what I imagine, but that's how I heard about it and how they figured it out.
I wonder how they figured out it was incels.
Because it's probably some fucking like a incel forum and shit like that, where they're all patting each other on the back.
Well, it's the dark web. Like, the dark web has so few people in it that, like, do you know how the dark web works?
It's like a separate, yes, very, very, very simply, but not actually in, like, I never used it. I've never seen anyone use it.
It's hard
I just
to
know
use.
that you have to get somehow like a private server or a way to access a separate part of the internet. It's not generally accessible.
You access it through the internet. You still have to use the internet to it, but you use the internet to get to a private server, which then goes through like 100 different other private servers and takes you to this. I don't even know if website is the right term, but I'll just say website for lack of a better.
Or something?
Yeah, forum. That is completely like inaccessible through normal means of the internet. Yeah. So, but the amount of people that do that are so few that I would have a hard time believing that you could categorize like all these bunch of people as incels. You know?
I would imagine it's kind of like a 4chan situation where it's like everyone on 4chan's a little fucked.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of generally group them as
that's
the
what I
fucked
think.
people.
That's what I think.
So I feel like it's kind of like this is the incel portion of the dark web.
Okay, fair enough.
That's how I imagine it.
In a September 18 memo, the Army told soldiers to identify 2 escape routes and... Oh, wait, I missed something here. Military commanders are warning service members about the potential for mass shootings at screenings of the upcoming film Joker, according to media reports. Okay, the other thing that kind of is a red flag for me is Joker is being touted as a conservative movie. Or an anti-progressive movie?
It's being portrayed as a a white supremacist
There we go.
movie
Yes.
because it proliferates how sad white men do violent acts and how they should be justified. That's how it's
Even though,
being
from what I
framed.
can tell, the Joker is not being justified in the movie, but yes.
And we also haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
And also, the Joker is known to be a
He's
psychopath, sociopath who does violent things, like Michael Caine says, to watch the world burn. Right?
Yes.
So clearly, this is a deranged individual.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. The
And,
fact that he's white, okay, whatever, I get it. In the context of the political landscape right now, I guess you could derive that. But it's
He
a fucking
targets-
Batman villain.
Yeah, he targets people en masse. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't just target black people.
No, he doesn't exactly. He targets people. He wants to make society terrified.
Yes. And also, the director has like seen like the SJW criticisms and essentially just told people to go fuck themselves.
Good,
Like
good for him.
It's
Watch the fucking movie, then decide.
It's almost like the first time we've seen this in Hollywood, and I can't remember the last time I saw a director saying "go fuck yourself." I mean, he didn't say that, but he's basically saying "go fuck
Candidly, you probably said that.
yourself." Yeah, he's like along the lines of like "I don't care."
Yeah.
And
Also, the movie's made, so there's no way to change it at this point.
no,
Like it's
Unless-
like a week away from being out. There's
a
no
lesser
way.
studio would. A lesser studio would
Maybe.
would put it on the back burner and be like, "We're gonna change this movie."
Yeah, maybe.
So,
I hope they don't.
but I've never seen his reaction from somebody in Hollywood, so I'm
Yeah,
pretty happy about it. So run if you can. The safety notice reported by Gizmodo. If you're stuck, hide and stay quiet. If a shooter finds you, fight with whatever you can.
Also, I think you jumped it earlier, but they also said like make sure you know where there are 2 exits in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
So you have
Identify 2
multiple
escape
exits.
routes. Yeah.
So like again, I've literally probably read that exact article.
It's probably the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incels are part of a subculture who identify as involuntarily celibate. I don't know if they identify as that. That's just kind of what they are. I don't know. To me, when you identify as something, it feels more like you're choosing to be that thing. I don't know if you choose to be
in the modern progressive terminology of identify, it's how I want yourself to be portrayed by society.
Yeah.
Whereas the way it's being used there is they are incels because of the life that they are living currently, not because of necessarily their actions. I mean, yes, because of their actions, but literally, like I am white, I guess you could say, because my complexion is of a white person.
Yes.
That's the same thing. They're an incel because they're not getting pussy.
Yeah. But like you choose, like in your case, you choose to identify as black, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I identify as human.
Is human? Okay. I identify as black.
That's fine.
Okay. So just if anybody complains that this is not a biracial podcast, we're triracial.
It's multiracial.
Yeah, we're multiracial, okay? At least 3.
Find any corner of the world. I'm that.
Okay, yeah. I think between the 2 of us, we have most of
I have black friends, Ken. I also have gay and Asian friends.
That means you're not racist or you're not homophobic.
Clearly.
Yeah. I like saying something, like sometimes when I'm online, I'll say something like, I'm not racist, but I like the taste of ice cream. Something totally like has nothing to do with it at all. And if anybody calls me, I'm like, well, I don't know, I'm just not racist and I like ice cream. So yeah, but anyways, back to that line. Incels are part of a subculture who identify as involuntarily celibate, meaning they are unable to find romantic partners. It's not entirely accurate.
I think that's accurate. That's basically what the word involuntary and celibate.
No,
together.
they can't. Well, okay. When I think of a romantic partner, I think of like a girlfriend.
But that's getting pussy.
Yeah, okay.
That's why my terminology is better. They're not getting pussy.
Yeah, I would have written it in more in terms of sex and not relationship.
No, that's why I said getting pussy.
Yeah, getting pussy.
Celibacy is, in the idea of just celibacy, is the choice to not have sex for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And involuntary means you're not in control of it. So they're not in control of getting pussy.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So I think a better definition would have been meaning they are unable to get pussy.
Yeah.
All right.
But nobody's going to print that.
Yeah, I suppose
I will, but nobody else will.
Elliot Rodger, who's the person I was talking about before, who killed 6 people near the University of California's Santa Barbara campus in 2014, identified as an incel. James Holmes, who opened fire in the crowded Aurora, Colorado movie theater. I forgot about that one. during a screening of Dark Knight in 2012 has become a hero within the incel community. He is not a hero.
I mean, he's a hero to somebody. I mean, that's a pretty easy statement to make.
But like,
you can say that Adolf Hitler is a hero to somebody, and it still would be a true statement, even without having to pick out a particular person.
I'm 100% certain the incel community does not find James Holmes to be a hero. I'm 100% certain.
Maybe they find him sympathetic. That's how they're putting him on a pedestal. Like he's like a martyr kind of deal.
I mean, I've seen those communities on like Reddit and stuff, and they don't like Elliot Rodger. They don't like James Holmes. Like they still don't like murder. Okay?
Yeah.
They're just mad at women. That's it. Like I don't know. I feel like saying that
it's a next level up to go from I'm pissed off because I'm not getting laid to I'm pissed off because I'm not getting laid and I'm gonna go shoot a bunch of people.
Yeah, like there's
yeah.
So I feel like there should be a couple more steps in there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I will say, Ken, for the future, even though no one listens to our podcast, I would prefer if we don't put the names of shooters out.
Oh, you'd prefer it?
I would prefer it.
Okay.
Just in the future, like we can talk about like the shooting that took place to give context of like the Dark Knight shooting and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm kind of contradictory when I'm talking about Adolf Hitler and stuff like that, but that's kind of historical and it's hard to get away from. But I do agree with the idea of not proliferating mass shooters by name.
Got it.
Just personally. So I'd prefer that in the future if we can avoid that.
Okay. We will not talk. Well, I mean, we'll talk about them.
We'll talk about them.
We're going to talk
but
about
we'll
them.
try not to put names out of people because I don't want to fucking put anyone on a pedestal for any inch of a degree.
I don't know.
We'll find workarounds.
Yeah.
If we can't, then we'll do what we can.
We'll just make fun of. We'll make jokey names for them, like
Fuckboy 1, Fuckboy 2.
I don't want to call them fuckboys because fuckboys still get laid every once in a while.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah,
we'll figure something out. Yeah. We'll put it on the drawing board.
Call them Incel 1 and Incel 2.
We'll get a bunch of names and then we'll put a dartboard up, and every time we need to pick one,
we'll just throw it.
Yeah, and that'll be the one. And then we'll stick with that one. That'll be like, we'll just redact his name or her name for whatever that might be, and then just replace that permanently.
Her name for shooter.
For the one shooter that shot up to Google.
Yeah, that's literally the only one that I could think of. Okay. Anti-racism event hosted by Edinburgh University bans white people from asking questions. All right, well, you know. That event.
That's real.
That event already fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't even do anything, and they already fucked up. The University of Edinburgh has been criticized for hosting an anti-racism event in which white people were due to banned from asking questions. That they phrased that weird. Just even read that first sentence. Am I reading that wrong?
Okay. Has been criticized for hosting an anti-racism event, in quotes, by the way, in which white people were due to be banned.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. Yeah, it's just,
which I think the word of "do" using that. It's
accurate.
It's from the UK.
Yeah,
they're like the way that they phrase things is a little bit different than how we do.
It is.
So
right, so this is from the telegraph.co.uk. Conference has been
also due to be means that it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, so it is accurate. It's just weird sounding to us.
Yeah.
The conference has been organized by the Resisting Whiteness Group, which opposes racism. Sorry, I just had to think about it for a moment.
That's fine.
Whiteness Group, which opposes racism and describes itself as the QTPOC, Queer and Trans People of Color Organization. There will be 2 safe spaces at the event, because of course there will be.
Yeah.
One of which white people will be barred from entering. All right. Okay. So they've got segregation.
So they can't even ask questions, and they won't even be allowed in.
One of the safe spaces they won't be allowed.
Oh, okay.
In. But it's still segregation.
If you want your safe space, obviously, then you would discount the people that you don't want in your safe space. But I don't even agree with safe spaces that much, anyways.
The safe places are meant for those who feel overwhelmed, overstimulated, or uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah. See, I can agree with that kind of safe space where it's like if you want to remove yourself and have a spot where you can go where people aren't going to come into the room and call you a piece of shit, I can agree with that. But if you want to allocate space where other people aren't allowed that are general space, fuck you. I don't agree with that kind of safe space.
I mean, like one of the 2 spaces is that. So
yeah, no, but when people say like this campus is a safe space and you're not allowed in, I disagree with that. But if it's like this particular room you can go to if you need a safe space, that I can get behind.
This room is for the darkies and this room is for the whiteys.
Sure, yeah. Okay.
Actually, in this case, it'd be more like this room is for the darkies, and this room is for the darkies and the whiteys.
The alphabet people.
Yeah, the alphabet people. Yes. If you're a white person with a question, please share it with a member of the committee or our speakers after the panel discussion.
Write it down on a piece of paper and set it on fire.
Just give it to the nearest black person. And then just make it start with, as a white individual,
who has black friends,
yeah.
comma, question. It's like, that should be just the paper you get. You get a card, and it just says that, as a white person with black friends. And then that's like already printed on there, and then you can write your question in.
You just... That's what they should hand out. That would be great. Questions explored during the conference will include, what does it mean to be a queer and or trans person of color in a society that frequently does not want to see us? However, Jane McCall, an anti-racism campaigner, said the event itself was blatantly racist, adding, it sets back the battle to achieve equality and fairness by decades, all because the actions of a tiny group of extremists who the perverse sense of logic has led them to belittle white people.
Wow, that's a very eloquent way of how I normally point that out.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad somebody said
that's
it.
That's literally what we say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually, no, sorry. It's not literally what we say. What they're saying is a better version of what we say.
Way better than what we say. I mean, there was that, so I'm just going to end that article there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's the same thing we talk about a lot, so I feel like we don't really need to go over
in depth about it.
Yeah. There's nothing new there that's
the funniest part is in the headline, and
yeah.
we've gone past that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was that there was the CEO of Apple who a while ago, not CEO because it wasn't of Apple, but somebody high up in Apple who was like a black lady.
Okay.
And she said something along the lines of, we want diversity of thought. And,
okay.
And the social justice community got like ripped her to shreds just
because
they're like, what do you mean of thought? You need diversity of people.
Again, we've talked about this before. If you don't toe the line, then fuck you. It doesn't matter what ideological bend you are, or even if you have a whole history of like proving that you're not a fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, this is going to be our longest episode yet. So
thanks to my dream talk.
Yes. Oh, it added to it.
Yeah.
So I guess we should just talk about our email address.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If anybody has any questions or concerns, possibly too,
or if they just want to interact with us, because I'm happy to inject some community into our podcast that nobody's listening to.
Well, whatever. We're on episode 16, so it's been 3 months of recording continuously.
Yeah, that's true.
You're welcome to email us at overtly_disagreeable@gmail.com. I'm thinking of starting a Facebook page soon. I feel like that's a easier way to do it.
I feel like we should just, I don't know.
Because Discord needs to be active, and that's the problem with it. Because
I feel like the Facebook page would be the same thing. It's
really?
It's going to sit there dry. Nobody's going to touch it.
I feel like Facebook page is easier because, I don't know, Facebook in itself moves slower. My
perspective is, we don't have a big enough audience for anything.
Yeah.
So until there's a demand for interaction that's so direct, like Discord or Facebook, I feel like there's no point doing it.
All right, fair enough.
That's my point right now. Like when people start when we get 100 people listening to the podcast and emailing us, and we can't filter through all the emails, that's when we need Facebook discussion groups. That's when we need Discord to call us homos all the time. That's my perspective.
We're not homos. I'm gonna just.
You're right. We aren't homos. You're a homo.
I'm not a homo.
A homeowner.
Not a homeowner. I'm so straight. I cut my penis off because I don't even want that dick touching me. Okay, even having that one dick on you is kind of gay.
You sound like a conservative fucking politician trying to put anti-gay legislation in America.
Vote cheer.
Sucking dick in bathrooms.
Sucking dick in bathrooms. That's right.
I'm so anti-gay that I cut my own dick off.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty gay, dude.
Nah. It's the least gay thing, and I only have sex with men that have sex with tons of women.
Have sex with men, but you don't know they're men because they have a hood on.
There we go. Well, like my philosophy is, if you have sex with a woman, it's kind of gay because she's had sex with dudes. Okay, you're basically having sex with all those guys. Yeah. But if you have sex with a dude, then you have sex with all those women.
Yeah, it's true. Like, was it by ratio? It makes sense.
Yeah. It's the least gay thing you can do.
You're exposing yourself to more women by fucking a dude than you are by fucking one chick who's fucked all these other dudes.
Yeah. So, if you want to not be gay, That's gonna be my word of wisdom, I suppose. So my word of wisdom is: if you don't want to be gay, cut off your penis and have sex with dudes.
Okay.
All right. And
Should I put one too, or do you want to leave
go
it?
ahead. No.
Mine's gonna be back to my trigger of vote with your heart, not strategically.
Not strategically. Remember to email us at overtly disagreeable@gmail.com.
Have a good night, everyone, and go fuck yourselves.
Go fuck yourselves.